and I'll you.
The water.
Ayanda Voices.
Con. All praises. The water sister, Princess Zalika, for adding that to the conversation. I don't know what happened to the other sister. I know there was another sister up here, but I guess she had to leave. Um, but we're gonna do a quick reset on the room. This is your kosher breakfast out of the skillet, where we turn the clubhouse into the Lord's house. Today's topic is detox in mind, body, and soul. Power of fasting. All right, power of fasting. Also, looks like Shaw Paul just added a new article on the top, PTR, and you guys can see it. Also, you see the greenhouse above our head. Go ahead and click on it. Follow the room, so that way every time we come up, you'll be able to listen to what the new topic is and the conversation is about for that day. All right. Also, throughout for the brothers and sisters that are adding to the topic of the room, edifying Israel. All right. So if you're down in the audience, you have anything to add on to the topic, any questions, anything, please raise your hands and we'll bring you up stage. Um, and today's topic again is detoxing mind, body, and soul, power of fasting. Okay, welcome back, Sister Nava. Yes, go ahead. You have the stage. What you got to add to the topic?
Shalom, everybody. All praises to the Most High. Hey, brothers and sisters. Yeah, I was pinged into this room because I'm like the detox queen. So I just wanted to share some love and light. I'm going to go to a quieter room. I noticed that one of the children are entertaining and it's kind of loud. Just give me a couple seconds to exit stage right.
Okay, con. Guess the sister will be back to speak on the topic. Yeah, like I said, this is a great topic, man. Um, as a nation, we got to understand the benefits of not only fasting physically, all right, understanding the meaning of it and how it connects us back to the Most High. Also, how we can detox our mind spiritually, right?
Hey,
Uh,
two quick
go ahead.
things came. Salakia. I switched the article because the sister, right? She brought out, right, sister. What, how you say that? Zalika. How you say your name, princess?
Yeah, you say Khan Zalika.
Yeah, Zalika, Princess Zalika brought out that sometimes people get distracted off social media, and and I also said earlier that sometimes the enemy puts things in your head subliminally off of things you see and hear, right? So this is just an article about social media causing depression in teenagers, especially young women, right? Because a lot of young women they feel like they have to keep up with certain standards to be beautiful, right? Not knowing that their natural beauty and their meekness and humbleness really brings out the beauty of a woman.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but this is something that social media does and has a hard grip on our sisters. So I just wanted to put out that study right now from the Child Mind Institute. This is childmind.org. The social media use cause depression. So y'all could check out the article and maybe we could go over it. But for now, y'all just check it out. Y'all save it to the link, and that's just something you could read and digest for now. And I also like to say shalom to everybody on the panel. You know what I'm saying? This is your kosher breakfast. And maybe if the sister Nava is ready, she can go into what she wants to talk about.
Thank you. Right on time, King. Appreciate you. So, if anybody has heard me speak before, I talk about the detox baths with the salt and the clays and the oils. Now that is still a go. That is still a go. And the negative and the positive ions that's in the Dead Sea salts have the ability to help cleanse not just your body of toxins, but also your thought life, your mind, because there's things that will come up while you're in the detox bath. And if you remember, Esther went through her purification. That's all this is. It's the ability to purify yourself from the things that we eat, drink, see, smell. Even, the air that we breathe has toxins in it, right? And Ezra gave a good word, a good solid word about fasting. But I wouldn't encourage you to fast without drinking water because water helps remove toxins. You can abstain from food, but I would encourage you to push the water because the toxins, they respond better to being transferred out through the fluid, right? So the young lady said that she fasts once a week, and that's a great start. I would like to challenge us all to live a fasted life with intermittent fasting, just pushing back your breakfast or pushing back your lunch. Get some fasting hours in every day. We kind of really do eat too much and too often. So if you can just consider intermittent fasting, Dr. Jason Fung, he did an excellent teaching on it. He has like several short videos, nothing that's too laborious. And for people who like to, drink coffee and teas and things, when you're on your fast, you want to stay away from that because coffee is a dehydrator by design. So it's going to take water from you. And if you look at your office or your company where you see people always drinking that coffee around them coffee pots, they do look dry. They just really do. Start looking at their faces, their lips, around their mouth. Coffee is a dehydrator around their eyes. You can see it. So if you like coffee, you want to abstain from it during your fast. And if you're going to consume a coffee, try a decaf and, come away from the processed white sugar. It taps your brain with the same sensation as cocaine. So your body will get the same response.
Sister Navarre, I do have a question for you. You brought up a point earlier, and I don't mean to interrupt you, sister. But when people speak, I filter everything through the scripture. I'm sorry. You said something about um, that we can't fast without, we have to drink water. I mean, we can do without drinking water, or we have to drink water.
I would recommend that you would drink the water while you're fasting because it helps to remove the toxins. So when you're fasting, toxins come up.
Okay.
And as they come up,
Is
the
that
water,
scriptural? Is that scriptural? You ever heard of dry fasting before?
of course I have, Ezra, but I'm saying we're in a climate that's totally different from when those scriptures were written. We're inundated.
Oh, hold on, sister. Okay. I understand what you're saying, right? But again, I filter everything that I hear through the scriptures. Can we
Well,
fast without, hold on, sis. Can we fast without drinking water?
yes, you can, but I'm not recommending it in America
Okay.
because there's a
Hold
lot
on.
of toxins.
One
Can I
second.
finish my thought?
No, no, no. Hold on. Hold
No,
on.
I can't. Okay.
No, no. Because you just answered my questions. You just said it. You just answered my question. And I'm not attacking you in any way. And I'm going to go to the scripture to show you what I'm talking about. Um, should we change how we do things just based on society changing?
Yeah, absolutely not. And
What?
I definitely get what the sister is saying, right? But the strongest fast you can ever do is a biblical fast, and that's without food and water. The sister mentioned Esther, but Esther did a 3 day fast without food or water,
Con.
Right.
and that's a biblical fast. I get that probably everybody can't do a biblical fast every day, right? And she's saying when you detox your body, it's good to drink water to flush out certain things, but let's never downplay or even uplift another fast over a biblical fast. Never downplay a biblical fast or uplift another fast over a biblical fast because the word of Yahweh, it reigns supreme above all things. But bring out what you was going to bring out.
Right, right. That was, and sis, I'm not, again, not everybody can do that. And again, when we talking as a people, we got to stop that whole spirit of contention and think that, okay, because a brother or sister is asking me series of questions, that they trying to, attack me. That's not what I'm doing here, sis. I love you. You're my sister. I have nothing against you. But again, it's about getting clarity according to the scriptures, right? Now, if you had said, hey, you know what? I won't recommend water, fasting without water, but, we know for you to get that, powerful fast, this is according to the scripture, this is how they fasted, our foremothers and forefathers, right? That would have been something different. Then we got, okay, well, because some people cannot do, they got to drink water. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I don't think the Most High will condemn you for just fasting with water. I don't think so, right? But again, I'm not the Most High. It's up to Him. He makes the calls when He comes to all that. But again, going back to the point, we can see in the scriptures that yes, we can fast without drinking water and food for a certain amount of time. So that's all I'm adding to the conversation, sis. I'm just adding that part in, the clarity. And let's get that scripture, and Shaw Part touched on it, but let's get it.
I
So
got you.
it's
Excuse
clear.
me, somebody's at the door. I didn't want to be rude. I'll be right back.
No problem, sis. No problem. Go ahead. Yeah, Ezra, go ahead and bring it out. You
Con,
got it already, right?
It's the book of
Right.
Jonah, chapter 3 and verse 5. So the people of Nineveh believed God and proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth, from the greatest of them even to the least of them. For word came unto the king of Nineveh, and he arose from his throne, and he laid his robe from him, and covered him with sackcloth, and sat in ashes. And he caused it to be proclaimed and published throughout Nineveh, by the decree of the king and his nobles, saying, let neither man nor beast, herd nor flock taste anything, let them not feed nor drink water.
Khan, that's a great one. Great one.
Let's
And
also
give
get
me
the
the
one.
one in Esther 4 and 16.
Yeah, 4 and
Also, like
16.
it.
Now I was
Ezra,
gonna say the same thing, King. Go ahead.
Shalaki, you said Ezra 4 and
No,
16.
Esther 4:16. But that's a really good
Con,
one too, because it indicates the food and water. That's what we want to address. But
It's the book of Esther, chapter 4 and verse 16. Go, gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
right. So when the sister was bringing that out, again, it wasn't. I wasn't trying to content with the sister or go back and forth. It's just to give the family the full understanding when it comes to fasting, right? Like Shah Paul said, we do things by the scriptures, right? Whichever direction we get from the scripture and how to fast, that's how we should fast. That should be your number one way to fast, not any other way, not because of the conditions we're in, not because of anything else. But I completely understand the sister's point, right? Not everybody can do a dry fast. Even the elders, they tell you that, right? Okay, it's a week of fasting, but these are the conditions on it. Or maybe we're going to fast for a couple of days as a dry fast. But we also understand not everybody can do the same type of fasting. Some people have to drink water. Some people have health issues, right? But they want to be part of it. So yeah, but yes, sis, Salaki on that. I just wanted to add that to the conversation. Um, but I'm with you on that, okay? Because not everybody can have the same dry fast because of different situations we might have. But we want to make sure we brought that clarity on it, on how we did things, and the proper way to fast. To be honest with you, straight up. But we understand people's condition may be different. But go ahead, sister, if you want to finish out your point.
Khan, I just wanna
Shalakia.
touch on one thing too. Sorry.
Hold on one second.
Shalakia.
Um,
Shalakia
okay,
sis.
what you
So
gotta have?
yeah, Ari, I'm happy you touched on it because actually I was gonna touch on it after the sister finished about what she was saying about fasting with water and things like that. So all in the spirit, man. All praises, But yeah, and what the sister's saying is definitely correct. But we have to understand there are different types of fast for different types of reasons and purposes, right? When you're dealing with spiritual things, battles, um, you definitely want to go on as Sharpa um, defines it as a biblical fast. You want to do it the way the scripture tells you to do it. There's biblical fasts also where you could, eat vegetables, like Daniel did that. Um, but yeah, as the sister's saying, yeah, if you're trying to detox your body, which we definitely need to do, because right now so much people are sick. So we know Esau is definitely spraying something in the air right now because people are sick in New York, and other places. It's just like ramping up right now, and they talked about having a dark winter, and we know they're about to do some crazy shit right now. So detoxing, getting the metals out of the body, because they're always doing these chemtrails, and there's a whole lot of stuff going around like in the air. So if you're gonna you know try to detox your body, yeah, definitely go through that with alkaline water and things like that. But when you're going through a fast where you're trying to get rid of some spirits, some demons, some strongholds, some things like that, remove burdens and yokes from your life, family, you know um family issues, spiritual, generational curses and stuff like that, the detox fast is not what you do, right? You got to go into that serious fasting. And want to also remind people that when you do fast, you have to attach the prayer to it, right? If you just go into, even if it's a 3-day fast and you didn't pray, you just had a diet, you just really just detoxed. You have to attach the fasting and the praying. It's like having a gun with no bullets. It's like having a dull sword. you know you can't just go into the fasting without adding the prayer to it. That is really how it comes together. you know so that is your intercontinental ballistic missile. When you add the prayer to it, don't just go into the, even if you're fasting one day a week, which is good, we encourage that. When you do that one day a week fast, you still want to add your prayer to it. Else you just really just detoxing, or intermittent fasting, and those things don't help you with spiritual issues. Okay, so you want to put the bullets in the gun, and I yield on that.
Con, the Water King for adding on to that point. Salaki, sister. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead, please.
So back to the baths, you can Google some detox baths. Those will benefit you greatly. I encourage you to have the tub water as warm or hot as you can stand it, and drink water while you're soaking in the tub. Usually 25 to 35 minutes is enough, but you definitely need salts and you need your clays because you're removing toxins. For those who don't have treated water or soft water, you would need to get some aluminum free baking soda so that you can treat your water before you get in the tub to do this detox bath. Otherwise, all your elements that you pour into the tub will be attacking the water because the water has fine metals in it, and white salt has fine ground sand and glass. So you want to switch your salts as quickly as possible that you consume. Even when you go to restaurant, you want to take your salt with you, and you want to use your sea salt. You don't want to use the white table salt. Those are just some practical things that you can do. And most of us are not hydrated enough. So if you're going to go on a biblical fast, you need to hydrate up first. because the first thing that you're going to encounter is a headache. And the headache is a sign of dehydration because we don't have enough water and we haven't had the right salt to even start with. So salt to the cell is what insulin is to the cell for glucose. Salt opens up the cell so that water can get into the cell. And most of us are on these sugary drinks with the high fructose corn syrup, and we drinking all these Gatorades and different things. We're not consuming nearly as much water. So if you've ever found that you were on a fast and you started getting a headache, that's just a sign of dehydration. And I'll yield.
All praise.
Shalakia, sis, you know,
One
just
second. I'm gonna hand it back to you. 1 second. Hey, sis, I got a quick question, Sister Navaya. So you do understand? You've got the understanding on the biblical fast, right? That's come first, right? Correct.
I came in with that. I understood it. I just understand that our people aren't even in shape for it. That's all. And
Okay.
this was about the detox. I thought that's where we were going. So that's why I spoke on the level of detoxing fasting. I didn't speak on the level of breaking the bands of wickedness, like the scripture says in Isaiah. So I was just going with the flow of the room, the topic,
Right.
detoxing.
Right. But that's again, we do everything through the scriptures, right? Sis, everything that we teach our nation, correct?
Of course, my brother.
Okay, sis. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you understand that that comes before any other form of fasting that we think that we know that can be better for us? Do you understand that the biblical part of it is comes first, sis?
Absolutely. I
Okay.
completely understand biblical fasting. Came into the room with the understanding. Have done it. I could only go 9 days, but that's as long as I could go. I've done them.
Okay, sis. That's all. That's all. That's all. I just want to make sure that we both had that understanding, and also we make it clear to the room. In this platform, that's where we stand. Everything is through the scripture first. We can care less about what you think is better. You understand? So I just want to make that clear. But again, we also have to use wisdom. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, let's. I'm gonna yield back to you, Shemaiah. Salakia King. Go ahead.
Khan. All praises, sis. Your knowledge is definitely good, and we definitely do need to um cleanse. Oh my gosh, we definitely need to cleanse. Um, I'm about to jump on
Okay.
a mucus, muta princess. I'm about to jump
Salakia.
on a a mucus fast using some charcoal and all of that type of stuff. But you were mentioning about the hot bath for the females, and I'm like, it's just kind of a little off topic, but it's like I don't know what it is why females could bathe in like super hot water, man. Um, I don't know much brothers that can stand hot water like females. And it's just something
That's due to
that's
our
just some.
genitalia being inside and yours being outside. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. You don't wanna jump in the hot bath with your wife. You're gonna feel like you got boiled eggs
Man,
in between.
I can't even take a shower with my wife, King. The hot water is like burning my skin, and I'm like, "Are you human? What's wrong with you?" So I don't know. It's not even bath. I ain't even gonna try to jump in no bath, man.
You can do it according to, your level of tolerance. Because I had to do it for my grandson. They put a shot in him when he got in the 12th grade. You know how Esau creates this new stuff on the fly. And it was mandatory. You go to jail if you don't give them the shot. And they claimed that this was to protect them when they went to college because this was like for 5 years ago. This is how long ago it was. So no COVID was on the horizon or nothing. And I didn't want to even have to deal with my daughter going through the court system and all the drama. So I did my research. I already had my education in the essential oils. So I gave him a detox bath. I gave him the lemon essential oil. So as soon as he left the nurse's station, he went and he took his lemon drops because lemon essential oil pulls metals and toxins out of the body. And so we put him in a detox bath as soon as he came home. And I let him get his level of comfort for the water, and he was fine. He had a couple withdrawal symptoms, which is what I expected because they just shot him up with something a few hours ago. So you can do it according to your level because it's just a bath.
I'm gonna stay away from that one. Let me ask you a question, sis. What do you know about um, um, detoxing with activated charcoal and bentonite and selenium um, and getting that mucus out of the body? Do you know
That's
anything on
the
that level?
Yes, sir. That's the clays that are in the detox bath. So you're just administrating it a different way, probably. But remember, you do need some form of mucus because the lymph node system, it operates with it. You don't need excess of mucus, which is what some people have because of, dairy and the different things that they eat and the things that we come in contact with. But, some eucalyptus to get it from out of your chest and a good fast to take it out of your body, so.
So if to doing the activated charcoal detox, how often should that be done for, like, our people and things like that? Is that, since you're saying mucus is needed, but we know that right now, based on a lot of the things we eat, we're so, acidic and not alkaline.
Mhm.
It's,
Every quarter.
every quarter
I
is
would
good.
do a quarter. Yeah, because a lot of people not going to stay away from their favorite things. They want those ranch dressings. They want those, sour creams and cheeses. So
Damn,
just
ranch.
you got to just do your cleanup. You know, that's all.
Con. All praises, sis. All praises for your knowledge, man. Keep it, educating our people. But like the brother says, definitely, the fasting, the dry fast is something we actually, Israel, we really need to exercise that muscle in our body, spiritually. It's something we definitely need to do. And if you fast, dry fast once a week, it's one way to start exercising that muscle, and you could slowly increase it. So let's say you dry fast one day, the next day you do maybe water, and then you try to dry fast 2 days. But the sister went up to 9 days. Not many people could reach there. All praises, but Yahushua did 40, Moses did 40, many other prophets and our people, it's a lifestyle that we are encouraged. As Yahushua said, when you pray and when you fast, which means it's something he believes that we should be doing. He's not saying if you pray and if you fast, right? And just fasting on the Day of Atonement might be good for some people, but a lot of us have some strongholds that is really necessary to take more time into fasting. Let's jump over to Isaiah 58 really quick. Um, and before fasting and stuff like that and praying, I never noticed um, until I started like doing really research on fasting by itself, just the benefits of fasting, and in Isaiah 58 and 8, it says, then shall thy light break
You
forth
did.
as the morning. Shalakia, somebody say something?
I can read for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. The book of Isaiah 58 and verse 8. Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thy health shall spring forth speedily.
There you go. Right. Um, and only after I started researching on the benefits of fasting, that verse, that piece right there, and thy health shall spring forth speedily, kind of like hit me in my face. Pow! Because when you fast, just fasting, I mean, this is not even like going into, for the spiritual benefits, because people in the world fast all of the time for different reasons. Fasting heals you from So many things, it's ridiculous to even try to list it right now. You know, I saw an article just maybe not even a month or two ago where this guy had cancer, diabetes, was about to get his foot amputated, and the guy fasted for 7 days and no longer needed to get his foot amputated after just a 7 day fast. And so many of our people, they are quick to cut our limbs off, man, because of diabetes and the things that happen with diabetes.
Hey, Salakia, I just changed the article. Look at this article up there and continue your discussion.
Con, right? So this person no longer needed to get his foot cut off. You know how the medical industry treats our people, right? They are ready and willing to definitely cut our limbs off. And if our people understand that even something as simple as fasting could heal you from getting your limbs cut off, right? Fasting removes cancer cells, right? That new, I talked about this before, that new cop, ex-cop who's going to be the mayor in New York, was blind in one eye and was losing his sight in another eye. And he fasted and he gained back the sight in both eyes. The eye that was blind, that he couldn't see out of, the sight came back after fasting alone. So, fasting just by itself on a natural level, family, is very, very powerful. It's tremendously powerful. And if you do some research on just the natural benefits of fasting, it is so healing. It's ridiculous, right? But when you do it with the spiritual benefits in mind, right, it also removes a whole lot of other oppressions. In verse 6, Isaiah 58 and 6, it says, is it not? Go ahead, King. I'm so used to reading. Go ahead, King. Read verse 6. Isaiah 58 and 6.
Khan Shalakia, Isaiah 58 and verse 6. Is not this the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness? To
Khan. Fasting is going to remove some wickedness, man. There's a whole lot of bands tied up on our people, man, right? If we can remove the bands of wickedness on our industry rappers who's singing about, sleeping with each other's wives and taking a man's wife and killing his brother, and that's some bands of wickedness that could be removed, man. Continue, King.
to undo the heavy burdens?
Man, who got more burdens than us, man? You know, removing heavy burdens and removing and destroying yokes in our life, that is something we need as a people, man. And these are the things that the Lord wants to do when we go into spiritual fasting, man. Continue, King.
And to let the oppressed go free.
Oh,
And,
man, that's speaking about me. That's speaking about you. That's speaking about your neighbor. We are all oppressed, man. We are oppressed by spirits, oppressed by generational curses, oppressed by the system, oppressed on your job, right? Oppressed in the jails, in the medical industry, in the schools. Tell me where Israel is that Israel is not oppressed, right? Go ahead, King.
and that ye break every yoke?
Man, there's so many things that have us bound, man, that we can't move. A yoke is something you put on these big, you put on cows and buffaloes and you know animals that you want to constrain, and the Most High wants to remove, you know, um, some of those yokes. Is that what it said, King?
To undo heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke,
No, some yokes, King.
every yoke,
Most of the yokes we have, the Most High wants to break it.
that ye break every yoke,
The Most High wants to break a couple of yokes on you, man.
and that ye break every yoke.
Every yoke that is oppressing you, that is oppressing me, going into fasting. This is what the Most High is saying to us, man. Fasting is a serious, serious detox for the body, the spirit, the mind, every part of our being, man. And I yield on that, man.
Salakia.
The
Can
water.
If I could just
anybody
say one quick
remember?
thing.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
brother.
One second, sister. Sister Princess, you wanted to add on something real quick? You can go ahead, and we're going to go to the queue to Sister Stephanie. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, to add with the fasting, especially as your sister said with the headaches, because that's something that I had experienced a lot before. So, one thing I could add in terms of if you have to do or when you're gonna do your dry fast is to intake a lot of nutritional stuff that would have a lot of water, like cucumbers, watermelon, stuff like that, like the day before, a couple of days before, and to drink a lot of water a couple of hours before you initially started your fast. So that would help you to go out throughout the day without getting the symptoms of headache and any other stuff that we go through when we fasting. So that was the point that I wanted to touch on too, because it's just as when we have to fast for the Day of Atonement, where we can't drink any water either, as the brother said. So these doing to me, doing these things before, like the day or 2 days prior, does help with that. And I yield.
Yeah, she's in the spirit on that because that's what I was going to double back with because you can get bad Charlie horses and cramps, even in your chest. You can, get cramping. I've worked with people that suffered with that. So, get hydrated up first. If you're going to do a fast, you got to be in condition to fast.
Can.
So, yeah, you got to know what you're dealing with. You just can't go into it haphazardly and say, okay, I'm just going to stop eating and I'm going to pray and going to be okay. Because most people are dehydrated to start with or borderline dehydrated because they don't drink water. So do your research, please, so you don't wind up injuring yourself. Thank you.
Shalaka, all right, I'm gonna be gone for a little bit, but I'm gonna still be on here.
Okay, no problem. No sweat, Ezra. The water for reading, anyways. Um, yeah, sisters. Yeah, yeah. Definitely want to keep yourself hydrated. Make sure you are ready mentally, physically, to actually do the fast, because that's the whole purpose. Um, you know, uh, to that. All right. All right. So do a quick reset, Sister Tara and Sister. I think Stephanie were up here. I don't know what happened. If you guys dropped down by accident, but if you want to get back on stage, please raise your hands. We'll bring you back up here. All right. Shao Paul also put in an article here. It says fasting for 72 hours can reset your entire immune system. All right. This is sources cited here from gero.usc.edu. All right. I guess they did research on it and came to these understanding on it. All right. Let's do a quick reset. Welcome to the Crown of Thorns, an affiliate of HOY. This is your kosher breakfast, hot off the skillet, where we change the clubhouse into the Lord's house, bringing out the scripture, the words of the Most High that comes from the scriptures to give us wisdom and understanding, bringing back Israel back to the covenant that our foreparents made with the Most High God, Yahweh. All right. The title of the room is Detoxing Mind, Body, and Soul, Power of Fasting. All right. Detoxing Mind, Body, and Soul, Power of Fasting. All right. Brothers and sisters are bringing out that wisdom out. Hopefully, Israel, you all taking notes. Um, also, the sources that are being put up, the articles that are being put up, make sure you also, copying the URL so you can look into it a little further. Also, make sure you're writing down the precepts that are coming out from the scriptures, because that's how we gain understanding. That's how you talk to the Most High God. Okay, that's how we listen to Him. Is through His Word. Okay. So if you're in the audience, you want to add to the topic, to the conversation, please raise your hands. We'll bring you up to the stage and let us build. All right. But with that, I'm gonna yield to the stage. If anybody else have anything to add on.
Um, I wanted to add, I had a concern like about fasting. I mean, I enjoy fasting, but my main concern was losing weight because um I'm already like small and I had lost 4 pounds. I'm not sure if it was from fasting or just not eating or like, you know, both. Because like sometimes I don't be hungry because I only eat like 2 meals a day now instead of like three. And because like I try not to be like one of those people that obsesses over weight because people are always like, oh, you're so skinny, you don't have anything to worry about, or times I've been skinny shamed and all that. But like, cause I'm 5 feet tall and I'm supposed to weigh between 115 and 120. So like when I lost weight, I kind of get sometimes concerned. So like, um, the question is like, it is it possible to like fast and like not lose weight, or is that just like impossible? Do you think?
All right. Um, I mean, if you have like eating disorders, that's something you need to address. Um, of course, you can address it spiritually when it comes to the scripture, but you might need to see, a physician to kind of help you with that a little bit, or a dietist. Um, you want to make sure you're eating, as much as you're supposed to be eating. Okay, that's more on a physical stance. When we're talking about fasting, you got to keep in mind, fasting. Of course, you can lose weight, when you fast because you're not eating and stuff. But the whole purpose of fasting is heavily more of a spiritual thing. You understand? It's heavily more spiritual than just what we're seeing physically. Now, of course, the results from that could lead you to lose weight, and this is why you have to do. Again, I said earlier, we have to apply wisdom when we do fasting. Okay, so if you're someone that lose weight quite a bit, or you get like constant headache if you don't eat after a certain amount of time, or you just have just a whole bunch of health issues with it, that's when you have to apply wisdom. It's that simple. Okay, it's not that deep. The Most High will understand, right, that at least you're trying and you're applying yourself in that aspect of your life to build yourself spiritually. You understand? So it's a way of submission unto the Most High God, right? That's what really fasting is, right? Letting go of all your pleasures and what you want. Because every time we put food in our mouth, every time we, have sex and do different things, those are forms of pleasures. So when we refrain from those and we give everything to the Most High when it comes to our body and our mind, right? That's what connects us to the Most High. And that's what fasting is really talking about. That's when we're dealing with fasting. That's what it's dealing with. Okay. So if you're having like eating issues, you might want to address that, and just make sure that you're eating properly, because, obviously that can cause you to lose weight and cause you to have a lot of health issues if you're not getting the amount of nutrients that you should be getting. Okay, sis?
I like recently. I think it's just the holidays, but like um I think it's just the holidays when I have like a weird relationship with food, and like I was gonna say, oh my gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Um oh um I enjoy fasting because it helps me to you know keep my eating in order um because I don't like because sometimes um I'll eat like emotional eat sometimes, and so like fasting really helps with that. And I don't think I have an eating disorder, but I'm not. I mean, I wouldn't know, but because I have to go to the doctors, like, because I'm like way overpast for that, but um, because you know, but yeah, or I just don't like, to be like, I want to make sure, I'm doing it, fasting for the right reasons, and yeah, I I was gonna say something, but I forgot. But if I remember what it was, I'll hit you in the back channel. Sorry.
Okay. Real quick, then I'm going to go to Sister Taya. You do understand the reason why we fast, right? It's not to lose weight or to for no other reason. It's heavily spiritual. You understand that, correct?
Yes, I understand that. Yes, I
And
Okay.
Shalakia, sister, are you also um praying when you fast once a week?
Yes, but sometimes I forget to. But I like watch videos and read, but sometimes I'll forget to pray throughout the day. Like I'll pray like at least 3 times. But I feel like I should do it more, like double up when you're fasting. So I feel like I need to work on praying more when
So
fast.
so when you fast, you present your petition before the Most High for the reason why you're fasting.
Um, no, actually, I actually just like think of it. I'm gonna just be honest. I just like think of it like in my head, like, or I'll write it down. I never really thought about that. So now, like, I actually didn't even pray and say this is why I'm fasting, but I just like think it in my head or I'll like write it down. But I think I should start doing that instead of just
Con,
thinking it in my head because, you don't want your fast to be in vain because, this is our creator we're talking about. You don't want to, do anything to offend him in any way. You want to try to be as holy as possible.
con. Ari, could you? I don't want the noise in the background where I'm going right now to affect anything. Could you bring out that scripture and go into it? Prepare what thou would say.
What did you want out? What scripture?
Prep- Prepare what thou would say before you go before the Most High.
Yeah, what? Sirach 33:4.
I believe, yeah.
Matthew's 10:19. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna read Sirach.
Sirach, yeah,
Yeah.
Sirach.
Prepare what to say, and so thou shalt be heard, and bind up instruction, and then make answer. You know, elaborate. Go ahead.
Um, I'm actually over the stove making breakfast right now. It's gonna be a little noisy, or I might burn what I'm doing. Could you just? It's literally, sis. Is just when you go before the Most High, you know, before you go before a king, don't just like, well, king, uh, uh, just 1 second, king. Um, uh, what did I want to tell you? What did I want to tell you? Oh man, I got so many things on my mind, King. Just 1 second, Lord. Uh, uh, you wanna you wanna make a list of what you want the Most High to do for you, do for your situation, and you prepare a petition, you know, um, of what that is before you go before the Most High, and that's literally all it's telling you, don't just come not knowing what you want the Lord to do for you, what your situation is, what you need fixed, you know, just prepare before, so when you go before the Most High, you know what you're asking for. Con?
That's good.
Don, all praises, man. Great point. So yeah, definitely in the process of fasting, we want to pray. That's part of the process, right? Sister Taya, welcome to the stage. Did get your back chat, but you're up here. You can go ahead and add to the conversation.
The water. I am in and out, so I do have to run. That's why I ran before because I had to do something. Salakia for that. But I was just gonna say, sis, I hit you in the back chat. I deal with food. I'm a nutritionist. I can help you out with as far as food and stuff like that. And weight gain and stuff like that. But with the fasting part, I just wanted to add to that one. What was the one you just brought out, Ari? Was that Ecclesiasticus 33 and 4?
Yeah, Sirach 33 and 4. Yes, sis.
If you could do 18 and 23 in Sirach.
Yeah, I got you. Sirach
Come
18 and what?
and 23.
23. Okay. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 23. Before thou prayest, prepare thyself, and be not as one that tempted the Lord.
So that was just following off of what King Shemaiah was just saying.
Right, right. So it's just elaborating and adding on to what the brother Shemaiah said. Great precepts is before
So,
thou prayest, prepare thyself. So get your mind ready, right? Where you're not just come babbling or like the illustration brother Shemaiah gave, pausing and not knowing what to say and just acting and sounding confused, right? So you got to prepare your mind, get your mind ready, right? Because this is something serious. And I think the problem is, a lot of times when we dealing with the Most High, because we don't see Him present physically with us, we think we can, pray anyhow to Him or act any way and sin or just do all kinds of crazy stuff, man. So yeah, we got to start taking things serious. The Scripture tells you how we're to pray. Yahweh Shai gave us an illustration on that. The wise man in the Bible that the Most High used gave us understanding on how to do it. And these are the ways we need to start praying, right? Also showed us how to fast, how to cleanse and detox our mind, our spirit, our body. Everything is in the scriptures, right? So we benefit heavily when we start getting into, um, spiritual, like fasting. You understand? Um, and that's something as a nation we really got to start doing more of, right? You can start in baby steps. You can start once a week, once every couple of weeks, and just build yourself to start, fasting and be able to do without sometimes, right? Especially when it comes to food. Because like Shaw Paul brought out earlier, he brought out a good point. He was saying that once we start fasting, it really helps us spiritually. It does. It helps you to be disciplined spiritually, right? I noticed when I started fasting more, and I was able to do without certain things, it applied spiritually in my life. Like when it came to keeping the laws or abstaining from abstaining from sin, right? Because I was able to do it with food. So it's like, with worldly lust, it's nothing. That I know I can only speak for myself. I could see that connection happening. And I think that will work for a lot of people in the nation of Israel when we start building ourselves, fasting and praying. That can help us a lot in our spiritual walk and just in life in general. All right. So with that, I'm gonna yield to the stage if anybody else have anything to add on. Also, if you in the audience, you want to add on to the topic, please raise your hands and we'll bring you up. All right. And to water for everybody that came up stage to add on. But yes, sis, reach out to Sister Tara. She's gonna help you a lot when it comes to your diet. Because that's another thing that we need to get into heavily. And I know we've had a couple of classes on this, rooms on this, but Israel, we need to know how to eat and eat the right way, right? That's something that we really need to change our ways of eating what we call food, right? Um, that really needs to be changed. But with that, like I said, I'm gonna yield for now. If anybody else have anything to add on?
I'm not sure.
Salakia, I'm
Salaki.
sorry.
Let me
I
just
just
say
want to say
one
real quick,
thing.
if you don't mind. I'm so sorry. I'm real quick because I just got to run right up there. I just want to say real quick that if you eat the right spices and the right foods, stay away from a lot of dairy, you can fight off a lot of these diseases that they have out here, and keep your body in an alkaline state. So when you do fast, your body will be able to handle it a lot better. So even when you are afflicting yourself for the Lord, your body will be able to handle it because you have done the right things prior to doing this. But if you're eating the bad foods like a lot of dairy, a lot of meats, and I'm not saying be a vegan, I'm not saying be a vegetarian, you can't eat meat, but I'm saying if you're doing a lot of that and a lot of fast foods and fried foods and stuff like that, when you're doing the fasting, it's not going to really be a good thing for you. You're not. It's going to be harder to do if that makes sense. And I yield.
Yeah, kind. All praises. I would say to the sister, my family's from Jamaica, and whenever the women of my family feel like they have a niece or a cousin or a sister that's too slim, they often give them a lot of dumplings, right, or a lot of jasmine rice, right. I'm not sure, like the the severity of your weight loss, because I was doing some things, I was making some moves, but I also know that Judah used cornbread whenever a female start losing weight too much. But definitely, you don't want to holler at an expert about the situation. I just know things that I've seen when I came across certain women of our nation that was having a problem with losing too much weight, or just not eating enough. And I yelled.
Yeah, Khan. This is where fellowshipping and getting the wisdom of other sisters, comes in, right? Like you just had Sister Terry that just came up here, right? That has the understanding on food and what we're supposed to be eating and stuff like that, and she can be able to help you out with that. Because some of the, some issues that we deal with as a nation, uh, a lot of us cannot deal with it by ourselves, right? That's why this is why we need each other. There could be some things I could be going through that Shaw Paul already probably went through, and I can, confide in him to help me with that issue that I'm having, right? And vice versa. So, this helps us a lot when we come together and, help each other in this types of sense. Okay. But yeah, it is so important that we, start eating right, man. That is so important. And the sister is right. Sister Tay is right when she says, once you change your diet, it does make it so much more easier for the fasting process. It really does. Right. Me personally, when I wake up, my rib, she blends some juice for me with different vegetables, juice and stuff. And that's how I usually start my day. And I noticed once I started doing that, I used to be someone that would wake up in the morning. This is how crazy it was. And a lot of it is just how I was brought up. I would eat rice in the morning, a big bowl of rice with a whole bunch of meat in it. Right. Now, you're starting your day horrible, once you start eating like that. Right. I mean, you just messed your whole diet for the day, man. You know what I mean? So I'll eat heavy stuff in the morning. You want to start it with like fruits, vegetables. Is a great way to start your day. Hydrate your body, drink a lot of water, in the morning. And I notice through the day when I eat, I don't feel as bloated at all. Right. Before, I remember I used to feel very bloated. My stomach would be popping out, and, you know, I got all kinds of mess going on in my body. Right. Because I started my day with a heavy meal, and we're just speaking more on this on the physical part, but you can connect how everything can help, how just changing your diet, right, can help you fast properly, right? And really, you want to build that tolerance now, because if it gets to a situation where you have to do without food or drink for a day or two, you got to be able to withstand it, man. you know, because a lot of our people would die if things go left where there's not going to be food for a day or two. A lot of our people will perish, man, because they're so used to glutton and eating and always eating. So we got to
Right.
start. Salaki, go ahead, King.
No, I said right. I was just agreeing.
Con. Nobody's telling you to starve yourself to death, but stop building that tolerance within your body and your mind, to be able to withstand situations like that if it becomes that. But I'm gonna yield back to the stage if anybody else had anything to
Hey, man. As you can see, man, the article up here, man, that's the science. That's why we always say that true science, it coincides with the Bible. It goes with the Bible. Now, weird science and pseudoscience and witchcraft disguise that science. It goes against the Bible. But real science, it agrees with the Bible 100% of the times. Right? It says right here, fasting for 72 hours can reset your entire immune system. Ain't that something? A reset. What does the word reset mean, man? We go into that word reset, it means like refresh, start anew. You know what I'm saying? Make a whole again. These are the things that happens to your immune system. Immune system. Immune system. You're not really understanding me. Your immune system, the thing that prevents you from getting sick, the thing that fights off your diseases, right? And plagues, right? In invading toxins, invading parasites, right? This is what fights them off in your body. Your immune system. Your immune system is your body's army. It's the defense of your body. So you get to reset. Let's say if your immune system went through a crazy war fighting off the COVID, right? This resets it, resets it. Let's say if your body went through a bunch of chemtrails, right? Chemtrails and fluoride in the water and GMOs in the fruits and toxins in the meats, right? You can't get away from all the defilement, right? The levels of defilement and pollution that Esau does to the children of Israel, knowingly and unknowingly, right? There's levels of pollution that happens, man. There's fluoride in your tap water and other things. There's toxic materials in your meat. There's GMOs in your meat and your fruits and vegetables. Monsanto's. All these things are taking a toll on your immune system. But fasting can reset your immune system, have it refreshed, have it start again like it was new, right? It's almost like becoming a new creature in Hamashiach Yahushua. But we know we need that spiritual aspect to really become brand new creatures. But on a cellular level, on a scientific level, you fasted for 3 days. Okay?
add on. Con.
Right? And this was very important, man, for our people to notice. Especially like with this new Omicron coming out and COVID variants coming out like Jordans, they dropping like damn Jordans. Like the new Jordans 11 is coming out or something. Now you got the new COVID coming out. It's competing, man. The damn COVID virus got more updates than my iPhone, man. Like I gotta update the COVID virus every time, man. Different updates to the COVID virus. But this fasting, as it says in this article, it renews your immune system. Anybody just getting over any type of sickness and your immune system took a hit, right here, spiritually, right? But also scientifically, it says fasting for 72 hours can reset your entire, not just a little bit, your entire immune system. Right? Y'all take time and read this. Kwame Ashala.
Con. Yeah, read that article, man. Read that article. So, like, brothers are bringing out, it's deeper when you're fasting, right? You're subduing your flesh, the lust of your flesh, right? It's not just, oh, I'm just fasting and that's it, right? And giving submission to the Heavenly Father, right? But let's get into the scriptures a little bit and get some examples of our foreparents fasting and what came of it, right? Like Moses, for example, he fasted, right? To prepare himself, right? To receive the Ten Commandments when he fasted before he did that. But let's go to the account. We're gonna go to Deuteronomy chapter 9, and we're gonna start at verse 9. We're gonna bring up some examples in the scriptures. All right. So we're hitting it on two levels, on a physical stand and on a spiritual also. All right. But Deuteronomy chapter, what do I want? 9. And I'm going to read verse 9 on down. Okay. It says, verse 9, and when I was gone up into the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Lord made with you, then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. Right? This is Moses here. Verse 10. And the Lord delivered unto me two tables of stone written with the finger of God, and on them was written according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in the mount of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. Now, why did I bring out this scripture? When you see before he even went to the presence of the Most High, right? He fasted and prayed, right? 40 days and 40 nights, fasted without eating or drinking, right? This is why we always bring up the biblical way of fasting. But again, we understand that we have to use wisdom when we're doing this fasting. But also, when you get in the habit of eating right, and correcting your diet, right, linking up with sisters that understand how food works, right, what types of food you should be eating to prepare your body to be able to fast. That's why we teach that, because you want that biblical fasting, right? But a lot of times the reason why we can't do it is because of how our eating habits was before we get to that fasting stage, right? We can go further down in this, but we already hit the point. I'm going to go to another account where the prophet Elijah fasted, right? When he was, in physical danger from Jezebel, right? But let's go to that. First Kings. We're going to go to chapter, I think I want 19. Salakia, Israel. First Kings 19, we're going to start at verse 4. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness and came and sat down under a juniper tree. And he requested for himself that he might die and said, it is enough now, O Lord, take away my life, for I am not better than my fathers. Verse 5. And as he laid and slept under a juniper tree, behold, then an angel touched him and said unto him, arise and eat. Verse 6. And he looked, and behold, there was a cake baking on the coals, and a cruse of water at his head. And he did eat and drink and lay down again. Verse 7. And the angel of the Lord came again the second time and touched him and said, arise and eat, because the journey is too great for thee. And he arose and did eat and drink and went in the strength of the meat 40 days and 40 nights unto Herod and the mount of Yahweh. Verse 9. Let me see. I think I'm trying to see which one I want. Salakia Israel. Trying to see which one I wanted exactly. I think this is a different one. Salakia. I'm gonna put that on hold. I'm gonna get another one for now. We already know about the one with Esther. Let's go to Daniel's account. But give me a second. I'm gonna pull that other one up with Elijah. But let's go to the account of Daniel, Salaki, Israel. Let's go to what do I want? Yeah, I'm tripping. Let's go. Daniel's chapter, I think it's 10 that we want. Salakia, Daniel's 10. Daniel's 10, let's start at 1. All right. Daniel's 10 and 1. Daniel's 10 and 1. In the third year of Cyrus, king of Persia, it says, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Bestelazar. And the thing was true, but the time appointed was long, and he understood the thing and had understanding of the vision. Verse 2. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth, neither did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled. Right? So we can see that Daniel fasted here when he needed revelation and answers, to his prayers. Right? When you read further down, it gives you more context on the story. But I'm bringing out this scriptures just to show that when we fast, that's a process of us connecting to the Most High, and certain things can be revealed to us spiritually, right? We can grow and build ourselves in the spirit through fasting. But again, it's a process to it. Again, a lot of our people has a habit of eating so much, right? And glutton and always feeling like they have to eat morning, day, and night. And the sister, Navarre, actually brought up a good point, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong with skipping meals, right? If you can skip one meal out of the day, eat pretty healthy, through the day, right? And sometimes, just snacking in between helps a lot. I can speak for myself. That helps me a lot. Get like healthy snacks. That way you don't feel like you have to always eat something heavy, because your body has to process all that stuff. And a lot of meat is horrible for that. I completely got rid of steak in my diet. I eat more lamb because that's a lot more tender. And again, I'm not trying to give anybody, I'm not an expert here, but I'm just saying what works for me personally, right? And that helped me a lot to be able to get to the mind state and the mindset of fasting. All right, let's go to the account of Yahushua. All right. And after this, I'm going to yield. And I think somebody gave me the right scripture that I needed. I'm going to check it out before I bring it out. And Salakia Israel for that. But let's go to the account of Christ. Let's go to Matthew's. What do I want? Matthew's 4 and 1. And we're going to read it too. Matthew's chapter 4 and verse 1. Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit in the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted, right? When he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungry, right? So, this is when the devil tried to tempt Yahushua, right? But through that fasting, that helped to build Yahushua's spirit, man, right? To be able to go through temptation. And you read in the scriptures, Yahushua say, there's certain spirits that you cannot get rid of, but with fasting and praying, right? So you can be dealing with certain demons and you're not fasting, you're eating every day, right? Yeah, you might be reading the scriptures, but because you're not fasting and praying, you can't get rid of those spirits, right? Now it's going to take someone that has a higher lot in spirit to help you with that, right? So, we can really build ourselves in the spirit if we, understand how fasting works, right? How it, works on us physically and how it connects us to the Most High God spiritually also. All right. But with that, I'm going to yield for now. I'm going to check out the scripture that got sent to me and Salaki for that, Israel. Forgive me for that. But I'm going to yield to the panel. Huh? Hey, Salaki, Shaw Paul, you there?
Come on, King.
Con. I dropped out. Where did y'all hear me till?
We heard you to the end, King. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Yabashim
Okay.
Yahshua.
Shalom. Yabashim Yashabrakta. You
Uh,
heard the account on Christ, right? Matthews 4, 1 and 2.
God.
absolutely. We heard you to the end, King.
Okay. All praises.
Hey, Shalom Macab. I called up the Elder Macab because he just did an interview with Patrick Devils, and if I could find that link, I'm gonna throw it up there too. So, what was your experience, Macab, when talking about health and nutrition and things like that?
Man, the brother he's an awesome brother, man. He knows where Israel, and he's from the island of Grenada, Benji, and he deals with the herbs and everything. He's a master herbalist. Um, the link that you have that I did with Daniel Allah, he brought me there because I was just recently in the hospital, but I had been watching Patrick Dells for several years, and I just gave my account. I can give it here because fasting was a part of it, but it was a different type of fast. You understand? It wasn't a spiritual fast. It was a healing fast, and it entailed eating and preparing for it. So the first day, it's like a 10-day thing. The first day was just vegetables. The second day was fruits and vegetables. Well, no, the first day was fruits and vegetables. The second day was just fruit. The third day was just your favorite fruit. The fourth day was pineapple juice and water. The fifth day was strictly water. So you were preparing yourself with the nutrients and everything. You understand? And then I did a 6th day of strictly water because it happened to fall on the Shabbat. You understand? And then you move your way up again. You go back to the pineapple juice and water. You go back up to the one fruit, then so on and so on. And then you can after that you can eat a meal. But the purpose of that was because I had found out that I had diabetes. My sugar was crazy at 600, and I had no idea. So I was on metformin and insulin. That's what they gave me. And they said that, oh, you can manage this. You're going to always need this. And this, that, and the third. So I was already, it was the spirit. I was already watching the brothers' tapes, not tapes, videos on YouTube. And I happened to be on the diabetic one, and I was taking notes from my mom and my aunt. You know what I'm saying? But it happened to be for me. The Most High does that. Excuse me, I got that cold that's going around. But so I took notes. You know what I'm saying? I sat there and I listened to him very attentively, and I took notes and I followed everything he did. So I went to the nutrition store and the herb store, and I got everything that I needed. And I started to take the supplements and making the tea and everything, but I was doing it in intricals. Meaning in the morning I would start with the herbs, and then 2 or 3 hours later I would take the metformin and the insulin and so on. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, I think that by the third week, I just weaned myself off by doing that fast. And the moral of the story is the fast was put there. During that fast, I was taking the medication, not the medication, Shalakia, the herbs and everything, because the moral of that is uh, you want to rest your organs, okay? You constantly eating and everything and trying to heal yourself is not going to work. Like Patrick Delp says, when your car break down, you don't still drive it. You put it in the shop and you rest it and let it heal, right? So that's the analogy that the brother uses. So I as I was fasting, I was giving myself the herbs and stuff that he prescribed, and heal the pancreas and the liver, because those are the two main components. If you watch his video, he explains how the pancreas and the liver are married. You understand? Because the pancreas spits the sugar into the liver, and once the liver gets too full of sugar, it spits it back up to the pancreas, but the pancreas is still sending it back down because it doesn't have anywhere to put it. So once it goes back up, then it spills into your blood, right? And that's where you get your blood sugar from. So you have to heal and clean out your liver and heal your pancreas. So you have to rest that. You know what I'm saying? And in the process of fasting, um, and taking the proper herbs to heal it. But the moral of the story is that it took me 1 month's time to bring my sugar down from 600, which was stroke. You know, that was just the most high. You understand? I was supposed to be stroking. The doctors were looking at me like I had 3 heads. Like, how are you walking? Like, get in this wheelchair. Like, sit down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you maneuvering? What's going? You know, you're supposed to be stroking. In 4 weeks' time, it went down into the 90s. You know what I'm saying? The top, like 117 to the 90s, back and forth. So it went right back to regular. You understand? So that's the importance of fasting and the herbs. And the link is on Daniel Allah's channel. But the brother is a good brother. You know, he knows he's Israel. I know a lot of people put a lot of stock in Dr. Sabi, I understand it. I'm not trying to talk bad about the dead. You understand? But Sabi, and I'm not talking bad about him at all, but you got to understand he was doing a business. So he would only give you bits and pieces and then say, here, buy my product. But this man, because he's charged by the Most High, he says, hey, I'm charged to heal my people, and I'm not trying to get rich. He said, yo, on his tape, he was like, yo, you can either buy from me or go to your local shop. And I went to my local shop, and he never even heard of me until that day. So it was beautiful to meet the man and thank him in person. And I got some other uh, things for him to deal with something that I was in the hospital with. And he's actually put me on a mucusless a 21-day diet. So I'm looking forward to that. But all praises to the Most High. That's my experience with him. I yield.
Shalom, Salaki asked, I was hearing bits and pieces on what you were saying because I'm on a plantation. But what was the page for the brother that you said used to look up his videos and stuff like that on YouTube?
Okay, sure. Okay, he's Master Herbalist, Dr. Patrick Delves. It's Devles. He's on YouTube. He's on Facebook. He does a lot of lives on Facebook. He has a website. I don't know it offhand, but if the brother found my link right there, so if you look at the link, he has a website as well where you can go and get his herbs or the remedies. He has a lot of remedies on the website, I believe, so you could go ahead and search him out.
Okay, so what I
Ayandaba.
Shalaki, I'll share the link with Shahpar so he can put it up.
I think it's up there, King. Khan, it's up there, King.
I might have to write it down because for some reason when I clicked it on my phone, it's telling me that I'm unable to see it. So I might just have to take his name and then look up his page on YouTube. But Tawada still
All
came.
praises. All praises. Yeah, he's definitely he's very knowledgeable. He knows what he's talking about. One the best thing is that he knows he's Israel, and like I said, no, not taking anything from Dr. Sabi. The man had a business and he did it, and he healed a lot of people. But this brother does the same thing, but he's not going at it with a business mind. He's going at it with the heart to save his people. You understand? Because he understands he's Israel, and he knows that he's got to stand before the Most High, and he wants to give this knowledge out, freely. And if you want to to buy with him. All praises. If you don't, here's all the information, and go do it for yourself. And I found that that's what really drew me to him, because I happened by him on Facebook, and then my brother actually co-signed him. But Priest Daniela and him have a personal relationship. I think Priest goes out there, or was before the COVID was going out to Grenada, because he has a clinic out there as well. So yeah, he's a good brother.
Brother, have you heard of monk fruit sweetener?
I'm sorry.
Monk fruit sweetener. Have you ever heard of
Uh,
that?
no, I sure haven't.
Write that down, and when you get a chance, check it out. It's non-hypoglycemic. You will love it. It has no
Sawada,
aftertaste. Yeah, yeah.
Sawada. You said monk fruit.
Uh-huh. Monk fruit sweetener.
Can you? Because me, I'll forget. If you Can you please put that in my back chat, and I will definitely look it up. Please, because I definitely will use it.
Absolutely. And you can use it like the same way you would use sugar. So you can sub it out for, baking or sweetening your coffee, your teas. I use it for the children when it comes to, lemonade and matcha tea and stuff like that. And they don't even know what happened. I made a peach cobbler with it and blew their mind.
Hey
Um,
sis, I got a question. Is there like
Beg.
honey, like the same benefits as honey, like something like that?
Honey turns into glucose in the body. And anytime you trying to steer away from sugar, that's why I don't use the honey. This will not turn into sugar in the body. It doesn't register as sugar. So that's why it's so amazing for people like the brother who, dealt with the diabetic aspect, and people who are trying to get off of sugar, a sugar alternative, because honey will still turn into glucose in your body. So this way we're alleviating that altogether, still having the benefits of the sweetener without any aftertaste.
And says, let me ask you too. What about like agave syrup? Because that's what I use to substitute for sugar and or any other sweetener. I use agave.
It's on the same level with the honey. It's going to turn into glucose.
Oh, okay. So I don't.
So people like, okay, who do keto? This is keto friendly. Maybe you guys will understand it better that way. You can use this while on keto and never break ketones.
Okay, con. All praises, all praises, all praises. Hopefully, Israel, you guys are taking notes. A lot of wisdom coming out. On again, we're touching a couple of aspects on fasting on the physical standpoint of things, but we also connecting it with the scripture on the spiritual end of things. All right, because it goes both ways. But we understand that when we fast, according to the scriptures, we fasting to make that connection with the Most High spiritually. But throughout it for everybody for adding their wisdom when it comes to this topic. All right. Um, all right. So let me see. All right, all praises. I'm just getting a lot of messages in my back chat. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
I just wanted to touch on what the brother was saying about the pancreas, the way it responds to sugar, and the liver. The fatty liver is a liver that's just overwhelmed with sugar, and it is, stretched out like a belly would stretch out. It's gained weight like a stomach would stretch because it has too much sugar. And to get the sugar out of the body is what you would need to do to get the benefits of the fast, right? So Dr. Jason Fung, he was a kidney doctor, and he stumbled on, intermittent fasting as a key to help his uh, patients that were suffering with diabetes, even though he wasn't a diabetic doctor. So his videos are easy to understand, real simple. It sounds like the one that you guys were talking about. that had a problem with the blindness. He fasted, his eyes were healed, because sugar can go into your eyes too. Sugar can go everywhere. It's just called different diseases when it goes in different places. But it's sugar. If they would be honest with us and tell us what it is, then we could have fought it better. But they want to give you medication and tell you, go this route, instead of saying, hey, you got too much sugar in your eyes. That's causing you, blindness, or, glaucoma or cataract or whatever, and then if it's in another part of your body, it's considered candidus, it's a yeast, but it's just too much sugar in the body. And he will tell you how to get it out through, fasting. And it can be simple. It could be a simple thing, and your body can come back into homeostasis or perfect balance just by pushing some meals back. If you can just do intermittent fasting, don't, look at it like, oh, I got to go 40 days. Start small and, push your breakfast back, and at least get 16 hours of not eating. And you'll see the benefits of the first thing your body going to do is start dumping toxins, because if the body is digesting food, it cannot clean itself. Breaking down food is a scientific process that goes in the body. So, your bacon, egg, and cheese, that you eat, even if you're eating beef bacon, it still has to be broken down into glucose. Okay, so when it's breaking things down from this hard matter into this liquid matter that is absorbed into your cells, which is called glucose or sugar, then it's not cleaning. So that's where the word break fast comes from. Break the fast. You didn't eat all night. You woke up. And if you're hungry, which I usually was, when I would wake up, I couldn't understand. All I did was sleep. I ate at like 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Why am I hungry? All I did was sleep. Found out that there was excess insulin. And I don't have a problem with diabetes. This is just how the body works. I had extra insulin in my blood from the food that I ate before my last meal. And so its job is to put sugar into the cell. Well, it didn't have no sugar to put into the cell. So it was just like somebody working overtime that didn't have any work. So it triggered another hormone called ghrelin. And ghrelin told my brain, send some food down here. We're hungry. But I wasn't hungry. It was just insulin in my blood needing a job to do. So it was sending this signal. I'm like, how do you turn the signal off? Just ignore it for the next 15 to 20 minutes and it will go away. The hunger will go away, which is the insulin demanding work. And then the insulin will dissipate off and burn out the body. It's amazing what the body can do.
Con, con.
Great point.
And Shalakia, that Dr. Jason Fung, yeah, I'm very familiar with him. He's really, really knowledgeable, and he really just breaks it down simple, So yes, that's a good reference.
Thank you for that.
Shalakia.
So thank you. So anybody who wakes up hungry and you just ate a few hours ago, just resist it. It'll go away. It's just the hormones doing what they do, and don't be tricked by it. It's the same way that happens when people work out. The body is demanding food. Just deny it. You're not really hungry.
Hey, I have a question, Nava. Um, I heard you mention about sugar in the eyes. Like, do you think that's why like some people um have to wear glasses? 'Cause I have to wear glasses, and I never thought about it until you brought it up, like sugar in your eyes. Do you think the reason why we have um problems like that, like blindness, because of like the sugar in our eyes, or is it something else?
Sweetheart, it could be a myriad of things, but if you're fasting, that'll be one sure way to see some improvement, because it doesn't take long, you know, to get this out of the body. So as you're practicing with the fasting, you should be able to see some benefits. without a doubt. And if there is excess sugar, because the body treats sugar like it does fat, it'll stick it anywhere. You ever notice people got a fat neck? They got rolls on the back of their neck. They got a fat chin. They got fat, chubby cheeks. Their arms might be small, but you see a lot of fat in the thighs and the hips. That's just the body just trying to get the fat out. And so it's the same way with the sugar. It could go anywhere. It's just the job of insulin is get it out the blood. Wherever it goes after that, insulin don't care. And the organs fight to keep it from going into the organs. They fight and kick it around like the brother was saying, from the liver to the pancreas, ping ponging back and forth. The body just don't want it there, and it has nowhere to put it. So it can go in the extremities, and that's where you see people having neuropathy. They got that pain, they got that numbness in their lower limbs. Look at it like when we used to make Kool-Aid when we were children. So you see the picture of Kool-Aid, right? And you stirring and you stirring. You know that sugar didn't all dissolve because we used cold water. We should have used some warm water. That would have helped it dissolve. But don't nobody want to wait for the Kool-Aid to get cold. And we don't want to add ice to it because it's going to make it watery. So we're using freezing cold water trying to dissolve these sugar granulates, and it ain't working for us. A lot of it is floating where? Straight to the bottom and sitting there. And that's what happens in the body.
Right,
All
Shalakia.
praises.
It's
Shalakia. Also,
Hold
with
on, Shaquat, you gonna Shema, you gonna make a quick a point?
yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
Khan. With the eye issues, also, sis, high blood pressure is one of the things that would also affect your eyes. And I am a testimony to that. I didn't know I had high blood pressure, and I used to eat a whole bunch of salty peanuts and all of that kind of stuff. And so one day my one of my eyes started to be blurry, and I'm like, what's going on here? And it just started getting worse and worse until I went to the eye doctor, and come to find out, a blood vessel had popped in my eye, and it was literally, what was making my eyes blurry was the blood, that because the blood vessel popped in my eye. And I started having to wear glasses, because of that. So I could see perfect in one eye, but the eye that the blood vessel popped in, it was blurry. So I had to wear glasses because of it. And then, my eyes just became used to the glasses. And so now I wear glasses, but not because, well, my eyes went bad or anything. It was because my blood pressure was so high. Because I didn't even know I had blood pressure, because men don't go to the doctor. Urgh, oorah, but yeah, it was something we need to start doing and go check up ourselves and make sure we're healthy. But that's when I was much younger. Um, and but that's also one of the things that definitely, can affect and will affect your eyes. And who suffers from high blood pressure the most? We do. you know. So yeah, and I yield on that. Oh,
Okay.
one more thing too. I had to go through this procedure called ILEA, which they literally stuck a needle in my eye. You don't want to go through that, Israel.
I
They
know you
literally stuck a needle in my eye to inject medication to the back of my eye.
Khan.
Um, and but one of the things, the body is really, really, like, really heals itself. So even a doctor who was doing the ILEA with the needle in my eye, said, yeah, yeah, eventually, if you didn't actually do anything, the eye would have healed itself if you gave it the opportunity to. So, as the elder was bringing out too, when you really stop your body from eating, it helps your organs to actually not be overworked, and then the body actually goes into healing. There's a documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It's this Edomite from Australia who, um, was on a ton of medication, He was a successful guy, but he was on a ton of medication every day, and he literally kind of just did like a juice fast, and that's all he would do, and he did that for a long period of time. And by the time he was off of it, I'm just kind of compiling the story. By the time he was off of it, he he was off of all of the medications that he used to have to take, including some childhood medical issues that he had that totally just went away as well. So just giving the body a chance to heal itself um, changes and reverses a lot of stuff in the body health wise. And I yield.
Khan, the water for those wise words, King. All right, quick reset, and we go back to the queue. Got a couple of people that came up to the stage. Shalom, shalom. This is your kosher breakfast. All right, and the Crown of Thorns, an affiliate of House of Israel. All right, the topic today is detoxing mind, body, and soul, power of fasting. All right. Also, if you guys see the greenhouse above our head here, please click on it and follow the room. That way, when we have new topics, you can get uh, a ping on that. Okay. So we're gonna go back to the queue here. Shaquat, welcome to the stage. You see the topic. What you got to add?
Hey, Shalom. I really got more of a question. Um, if somebody can help me out, I went to the hospital yesterday and they said that I had COVID, right? Um, so my question is, uh, does anybody know any nutritionists or herbal doctors or whatnot in the audience or on the panel here that they can message me their names or somewhere I can find them?
Khan, the link that is on the top is an interview that the elder did with this herbalist, Patrick Delves. In the interview, they mention his email and his website. Um, and he's really knowledgeable about these types of things. But right now, you could start drinking, like take ginger, garlic, lemon, honey. Boil the ginger, garlic, um, and make teas with that. That is like right now, a lot of people are coming down with quote unquote COVID, right? Esau has definitely ramped up his destruction, right? And just, fasting like we are talking about is one of the things that really help the body to heal, detoxing the body. Um, but yeah, Esau is ramping up the game right now. But taking these ginger, like if you boil ginger, garlic, even like the red onions, you boil that stuff, and then when you sweeten it with some honey and put some lemon in that, fresh lemons or limes, and you drink that um, several times a day. Believe me, it's going to knock off the sore throat, the runny nose, the sneezing. If you got some black seed oil, um, sea moss, all of those things really help to strengthen the body, man. That's what I've been doing. I started coming down with whatever because a whole lot of brothers got sick recently. And I did that. I also, just went and bought some NyQuil as well, you know. But I've been doing all of that stuff, and my sore throat's gone, my runny nose is gone, my sneezing is gone. Um, you know, headache, whatever headaches would come on, and all of that stuff, body pains, all of that stuff is gone now. And I'm still drinking the tea and stuff like that. Not as much as when it first came on, but you could do a lot of these basic home remedy stuff, King. Dandelion, including in that too. When you're eating, put some turmeric in your food. All of these things, really help to So, and I'm not an expert. This is just all like natural stuff that I knew from growing up. You know, um, people who know more about the herbs and stuff like that. One of the sisters, who I think she left the room. Um, but yeah, all of these things really help, man. Brothers tell me also I should add zinc to that order. I should get the zinc and include that in, my regiment. Um, yeah, so just start right there, first, King. Even if you can't find an herbalist, or until you get a hold of an herbalist, drink that tea about 3 or 4 times a day.
Con.
And yeah,
So
Do
I
everything he
went there
just said to
yesterday.
do and take vitamin D and vitamin C. So everything he just said to do and take vitamin D and vitamin C. Okay?
Okay, con the
Hey,
water.
sweetheart, this is Neva. If you check my background, I'm a herbalist, but let me show you a more excellent way. I'm not against anything they said, but let me just show you a more excellent way because all of that stuff is nasty and it tastes horrible. And we can get the work done through lemon essential oil or thieves essential oil. If you just Google those, you'll see that there's your zinc. There's your vitamin C. You can't even substitute vitamin D. Vitamin D is something that is made between the melanin in your skin and the sunshine, the UV rays. So you can't even duplicate that. They don't tell us that. You have to research that. You can't even supplement vitamin D. You can eat it in organs, food organs, but you can't supplement it in a pill.
Slakia, you said uh lemon essential oil
hmm Lemon
and
essential oil goes into the cell and destroys the virus because we've been dealing with viruses ever since we were children. And when we had our children, we took them to the doctor and they said, sorry, it's a virus. It has to run its course.
right.
Flash your mics if you heard that, but if it's a bacteria, they'll give you an antibiotic. Well, an antibiotic is like a drunken soldier. He'll go shooting everything. He's going to kill the good cells. He's going to kill the bad cells because he can't tell the difference because it's a manufactured medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So the essential oil, which is the leaves are for the healing of our nation, that goes in, that doesn't have that disgusting taste, or you can put it in the arch of your foot and not even have to deal with the taste at all because the arch of your foot is the smallest pore on your body. So I'll hit you up the largest pore on your body next to your skin. Your skin is actually an organ, but it's full of pores. So if you go through the essential oils, which is the blood of the plant matter. So you take 50 tea bags to equal 1 drop of peppermint oil. So let's just go to the source and find a more excellent way. In your mind, in your imagination, let's take a hypodermic needle and shoot the lemon. Let's suck out the blood of the lemon from the rind, not the actual fruit, because that's where the citric acid is. And you'll get the zinc, you'll get the vitamin C, and you'll get the virus fighting benefits. Just you can Google it. What is the vitamins in essential oil lemon? Zinc is right on the list.
Mm-hmm.
A more excellent way. That's all.
Man, my heart is so glad right now.
Um, sorry,
And I've
Slakia.
had COVID 3 times, and so did my grandchildren. They germy. They gave it to me 3 different times. And one boy just had it, got over it, and is on the plane right now to go for a basketball tournament. So this is a real thing that's out here, but we're able to defeat it.
Right.
Mm,
Can you
love it.
message me? I mean, I wrote down the lemon
Yeah, I
essential
got you.
oil. Yeah, if you can just message me, I appreciate it.
I got you.
Um,
And
they
I
told
sell the
me
oils to make sure it's pure. A bottle of lemon is $15. That's nothing. You can't get a
Salakia,
needle for $15.
I have not had COVID once, and I do my garlic. I take the vitamin D, the organic vitamin D. I take vitamin C and zinc. I haven't even been sick. So, I mean, oils are very good. I'm not going to deny that, but there is a way to duplicate vitamin D, just like vitamin C.
um,
So I do
yeah,
apologize about that.
they told
But
me yesterday that
there
I
is a
was
way.
they told me I was asymptomatic. I mean, I don't know exactly what that means, but uh,
A means whenever you put A in front of a word, it means without. So that means you don't have symptoms. So
okay,
you might not even actually have COVID. They just need their numbers bump up, maybe get a second opinion. But do what King said. You can do the oils too. They're good as well. But you do have to start off with that ginger. These are the roots from the like hers are from the plant too, but these are the roots from the ground that the most put here. So start off with those if you want to clear up your throat immediately. Again,
Yeah.
I haven't been sick once during this COVID. I've been out and about. I'm actually a visiting nurse. So I go into people's houses who may even have had COVID or sickness, and I'm still haven't been sick.
Okay.
Just like you. Sorry about.
God, the water. I appreciate the help.
Khan. All praises, man, to
All
what sisters
praises,
added
all
on.
praises. Ari,
Appreciate
just
that.
1 second, King. So sis, you said the lemon essential oils, right? So whatever you can get, Israel. I just want the sister to go into a little more in terms of the lemon essentials oils. You said, are they? Is that something you eat? Is that something you rub on your skin? How do you apply that?
You can put
So
it in the arch of your foot or you can ingest it because it tastes just like the rind, which is where it comes from. And I'm not against any of the herbs. This is where the blood comes from. Ginger root does have benefit, but so does the oil. You can get it more concentrated. You can get the lemon more concentrated
yeah,
because it's what
and it's
keeps
this
it
is not
alive.
about this is also
No, I'm
just
just
really
explaining
because
because if
I
so,
understand.
you could take
This is
lemon,
1 second, sis. 1 second, sis. This is just to benefit Israel on a whole.
right?
So yes, I personally I like garlic. Right, garlic has a lot of benefits for men, and I'm sure for women as well. The way I cook and stuff, I always like fry some garlic in it or whatever. So the garlic taste is not something that everybody would like. Even when you eat garlic, the smell also, and onions and things like that. So definitely knowing other ways to do things that is beneficial for other people is great because it's just gonna edify everyone. So this is why I definitely want you to go into the essential oil. I have never used it, and I don't know how to use it, the dosage and all of that type of stuff. So that's why I wanted you to talk about it a little bit.
Absolutely. And there's a very reputable doctor who gets the credit for bringing this science into America. His name is Dr. Gary Young. And he built a business off of it because they actually use lavender essential oil overseas in the burn unit, where over here they're still peeling people's skin off with a hazmat suit on and shooting the patient up with morphine and peeling the dead skin off, where overseas they're just literally submerging them with the lavender. And while the lavender bath is being prepared, the lavender is released in the air and it's calming the patient, it's calming the person that's servicing them, just like you see lavender in all the baby products, because we want a calm baby. We don't want a fussy baby. Okay? So the lavender is doing its aromatic thing, which is what true aromatherapy is. And then the skin is being prepared and mended in the lavender bath while they're soaking in it. And so whatever skin is burnt to a crisp, it will automatically fall off because the body can't use it. The body is smart, but anything that can be grafted back, it will automatically happen just because you put them in lavender. So,
Khan. The water for the
Just one
input
second,
there.
Ari. I'm sorry to cut you off, King. So you're saying
so
when you have a runny nose, sore throat, headache, all of these symptoms, you take this lemon essential oil.
yes, you could take the lemon.
You don't have to ingest it.
You can ingest it or you could put it in the arch of your foot. And I was coming back around to your question because the ginger root is excellent, but I wanted to explain how to even use that. It's because if you got the ginger root in your home and you have to extract the blood of the ginger root from the root itself, and you need to get the blood of the lemon from the rind. And you can do this with the boiling process, but all the water is not going to be loaded with the vitamin. It's going to be the skim from the top. That's going to give you the most of it because a lot of it is going up in the steam. And this is why I stepped away from just doing herbs and started working with the blood because it
Not to
has more
cut you off,
potency.
sis, but also what you just mentioned about the steam. I remember that's one of the things China was doing in the beginning when they were fighting the so-called COVID pandemic. They were taking the steam and inhaling it, and a lot of that was healing their people, just the steam from the teas.
Yes, sir, because it's an upper respiratory infection. So anytime you're dealing with upper respiratory, you're dealing with the parts of the body that breathe and that have to do with your nose, your sinus, your lungs, all of those things. So to keep those airways clear of the pathogens, and that steam can help release them from the mucus that's in the body. That's why steam works. And but then when you add, if you just look on the back of your Lysol can, it'll say human corona. And it was there before they released the coronavirus, because us ladies, we keep that kind of stuff because we clean, right? And they always put lemon in anything cleaning. You see it everywhere in bleach, dishwashing liquid, dishwashing detergents, because lemon is a very powerful um, cleansing agent. Antibacterial, antifungal, antivirus, right there, just in lemon. You see, so you can boil these things, but you would do better to consume the whole rind. Just try to stomach it if you can't get the oil. I ship out next day service, so I'm doing it as fast as I can get them out to you as fast as you place your order. I will be shipping the same day, if not the next day, because our post office at
So you're
5, right?
saying you eat
So
the lemon rind by
yes,
itself?
yeah, boil it to make it a little soft and consume it
Okay,
would
so
be
as a
better.
home remedy, you're saying to help fight this COVID, if you have fresh lemons, is that including limes?
You can do a lime as well. You'll have
So
more
you take
benefit
the
with the
skin
lemon,
off the
but
lemon or the lime and you
hmm
eat that by itself, and that
hmm
by itself could also help heal
boil it
you.
with your boil it with your ginger root if you got your ginger root at home, and
Hmm.
consume it.
Consume
Consume it.
the skin.
Yes, and get the blood from the ginger root. Because if you really want to get down to it, you could chew it like you do ginseng.
You're confusing me when you say the blood from the ginger root.
Okay, because everything has a blood. That's how it grows. Like if you tear a leaf, you'll feel that little sticky sappy. That's called the
Okay,
blood.
so you mean the liquid that you would get from the ginger
The
is the
fluid,
blood?
yes. The
Okay,
blood,
got
yes.
that.
That's what keeps it alive. And it can't go to the doctor. So it has to stand there and fight. So that's why all of these good properties are inside of these roots and
Con. So just one.
leaves.
So you're saying boil the skin before you eat it. Don't just peel it and eat it.
It'll help you digest it better because it'll get softer. So, don't
Con.
have a whole lot of water. Try to keep a lid on the pot
Con.
so that you can keep the steam in, because you're losing nutrition and nutrients and vitamin and zinc into the steam.
And that's
It's
really
leaving.
good what you're saying, because I did the boiling with the ginger and the garlic and the lemon peel, but I didn't eat any of the, I guess, the chunks or the fiber or the skin or anything like that. I just boiled it and strained that out and drank the liquid. But the benefits even better if I would have taken the skin and eat it with the tea I was drinking.
Right, because you want as much as you
Con,
can get, because the oil is
con,
concentrate. So the lemon essential oil, one drop is equal to like 50 tea bags of ginger, 50 tea bags of peppermint, 50 tea bags of lemon. So if all you got is this, let's work it to the best of its ability. If you got a pressure cooker or a steamer, don't even boil it on the stove. Trap those nutrients inside the pot, then drink and eat that. And it only
con,
takes, if you got a pressure cooker, it only going to take you like, just put it in there for like a minute. It can't take a whole lot of pressure. Put it in there for a minute.
con.
Cut
Well,
that
what you
ginger.
is, I'm gonna take the skin and I'm gonna literally like put that in my bullet and just grind that down with the liquid and drink all of that stuff together, like like a smoothie.
Exactly. After you boil it, do just that. If you can pressure cooker, do just that. Pressure cooking is even the best way, even when it comes to your greens and your cabbage, because you lock in all that nutrition, and you can sneak some kale in there. And kale is a superfood and you won't even know it. It's in your greens. And it only
Sis,
takes 15 minutes to break that down. So it's amazing what you could do with a pressure cooker.
sis, what
Con.
do you feel about adding
Hold
cayenne
on,
pepper to
Hold
what
on,
you just
Alexandra.
said?
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, we're gonna come to you. We got to do things in order. Shamar, you guys done with your conversation? I'm gonna reset the room and get back to the queue.
Con.
All
That
right.
was really great information. Again, the what we were bringing out is good, but hey, man, it's we. This is iron sharpening iron. Each one teach one. You have more information. We add to it, and we all become better. So all praises, Israel.
Okay, Khan, all praises. I'm gonna do a quick reset. Okay, sister Alexandra, I'm gonna give you a minute to speak. Okay. We just gotta follow the queue. But anyways, welcome to the Kosher Breakfast. Halaf the Skillet. Okay, today's topic is detoxing mind, body, and soul. Power of fasting. As I said, we're touching both end, the physical end of fasting, and also you can see brothers and sisters are getting into the nutrition part of it. All right, how we are to use the herbs that were given to us by the Most High God to nourish and to treat ourselves. Also, we get into the spiritual aspect of things, and we can see in the scriptures how our foreparents connected with the Most High spiritually, right? But we're gonna go back to the queue. Also, don't forget, please follow the moderators, follow everybody on stage, and follow each other's down there in the audience. Brothers and sisters are really bringing out a lot of wisdom out, and all praises to the Most High for that. Go back to the queue. Sha'an, you're next on the queue. What do you have to add? And Sister Alexandra, I will come to you. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much. Um, so my children eat high raw vegetables and fruit. Actually, my oldest loves to eat lemon rinds, oranges, limes. He'll eat the rind by itself. He doesn't need no boiling or anything. So, um, another thing is, if you guys know anything about Homer G. Phillips Hospital, you should Google that. They didn't allow us to have our own facilities to go into. So I feel like if you decide to go into their facility and say, hey, can you tell me what's wrong with me? Well, they can give you whatever they want. They can say, yeah, you have COVID and you have to, admit yourself into our hospital. And well, you can either live there or die there, You can leave and, come out with COVID and spread it to your family. And so think spaces like this where we're teaching each other home health and, taking care of ourselves at the bare minimum is really helpful. And one more thing I wanted to say is the dentist. Nobody is talking about the dentist. I'm wondering why, you have to take your children as early as 6 months, to a dentist. And well, here I am, 30 years old, and I have cavity holes in my teeth the size of those little tweezers and things that they used to have and play with at the dentist. So my teeth in the back are like literally falling out, and I'm thinking it's due to the poisons, that were in those so-called treatments that they had. But my children, I haven't taken them to dentists, but they have really good teeth. I mean, pearly white teeth, and we're on a high raw vegan diet. So yeah, I don't know if anybody can expand on that, but I think about my children every day, and I want to protect them, and I want to help them grow with knowledge and information from spaces like this, because I'm taking it and putting it into my body and mind and soul. So you guys have a great day and grand rising to you all, and let's go into the new year and with each other, holding hands and flying high. So I love y'all. Take care.
Con. Shalakia. In reference to the dentist, um, what I do know about the dentist, don't get a root canal, family. Um, All root canals are infected. I don't care how good your dentist claims he or she is, all root canals are infected. And what it does, it actually leaks bad blood back into your body. I was looking at this thing a while back. It was this doctor who came into a church, and people were telling him the types of problems they were having. And one of the things he keep going back to, he keep asking them. They were mentioning all kinds of different medical problems they were having. And one of the things he kept going back to was asking them, "Oh, so do you have a root canal? Do you have a root canal? Do you have a root canal?" And he literally kind of broke down the fact that all root canals are infected. And when you're sleeping, it actually, you know, leaks blood back into your body, down your throat. And these things affect you in so many different ways in your body. And if you do have a root canal, and you have cancer, like one of my brothers was diagnosed with cancer last year. You know, Most High, thank God he beat it. But one of the first things I told him, I said, "Hey, go pull out all of the root canals you have." And he went to the dentist, and the dentist was trying to, or literally was fighting him, telling him they're not going to do it, da da da. But he got the root canals that he had in his mouth out, um, and he went through the therapy and all of that type of stuff. But he beat the cancer. But yeah, root canals is one of the worst things um, to have. I have two root canals that I have to go try to get removed. Um, but yeah, that's all I could know about root canals. Also, before they used to also put fill our tooth when we had cavities with mercury. I haven't done the research to know if they're still doing it with mercury. I hope not. Mercury is a very toxic poison, and I don't believe. I mean, Esau is wicked as hell, man. But they used to fill our teeth with mercury, silver and mercury. And anytime you drink any kind of liquid, cold, hot, whatever, it leaks that mercury into your body and poisons you. I mean, literally poisons you. If you do research on mercury, you would see for yourself. I haven't done the research to know if they're still doing cavity fills with mercury, but that's one of the things they used to do a lot. And I yield.
Salakia. And
I'm
let's
in
talk
Ohio.
about.
They're not
Hold on
doing
a
mercury
second
in
now. Hold
Ohio.
on, Hadab. Hold on. Everybody, mute up for a second. All right. Sister Nava, since you've already been on the queue, you had something to add on to the conversation, real quick.
He asked he asked a question about the mercury, and I said I'm in Ohio, and they're not using mercury. That's all.
Okay, conscious. All praises to water. Okay, Sister Alexandria, go ahead. You are next in line. You see the topic. What do you have to add to the conversation?
First, I want to thank you for the rebuke earlier because I'm new to this clubhouse. So thank you for showing me how it's done. Second, I was asking the sister at the time. I'm in New York, and every time I leave the house, I just believe there's so many chemtrails in the air. Every time I leave the house, I feel the mucus building up in me while I'm out. So when I come back home, I take a couple of concoctions. One is ginger, garlic, whole lemon, whole lime, a pinch of cayenne pepper, a shot of Jamaican rum. It's one other thing I'm missing, but I can't think of it. And I blend that all together and I keep that in the jar in the refrigerator and I take a shot of it when I come back in the house. I also boil the rinds, as she said, and I add to it eucalyptus leaves. I'm wondering if the sister has an opinion on the cayenne pepper because I didn't hear you mention that, but I was told that a little cayenne pepper it helps to open up the cells to receive a lot of what we're feeding or trying to feed it.
Thank you for that question. That's a real good question. I never worked with the cayenne pepper, but I don't doubt it because everything that he created has a benefit. Like, if you just eat some um, cilantro, that removes heavy metals. And for
Yes.
all you guacamole people that love, the guacamole and you like um, uh, the pico, which is the onion, cilantro, and the tomatoes, eat up on that kind of stuff, because those things remove heavy metals and toxins. I know
The pico
cayenne
de
pepper,
gallo.
pico, thank you, pico de gallo. Yes, whether you add the mango or not, the benefit is the onion, the cilantro, and the tomatoes. Those remove heavy metals and toxins from the body. So I haven't studied with the cayenne pepper, but it would not surprise me. Now, there is a black pepper seed oil, but I find the same benefits in frankincense. So I hold to that because, we're familiar with that. Our ancestors used the frankincense and the myrrh. So I go that way because to me, it's just a more excellent way. But if you got cayenne pepper in your cabinet, use it. I would just say pressure cook so that way you can trap in nutrition instead of letting it escape with steam.
Shalakia sister, you just kind of. I only know about the frankincense, like burning it, but are you saying you can also eat it?
It's interesting. I just want to say this. It's interesting how the sister mentioned the Bakia Hill as a pore that absorb certain things. Because back in the days of our harsh captivity, them wicked ass slave masters used to put their feet on the backs and chests of the children of Israel, and that was part of their witchcraft to absorb what we had and to transfer this sickness onto us through the back of the hills. I'm not sure
That's
if
the
you ever noticed that.
That's the arch of the foot. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
largest pore. All you who got big mamas would always tell you don't be walking around barefooted. You get sick that way because the arch of your foot is the largest pore on the body. And yes, they would have us walk on them and stand on them and they would put their feet on us, because of that pore, and they would, try to, do their craft. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of things that we can do. We're just coming back to our own. That's all we're doing. They found the essential oils as old as the pyramids, and they were in the pyramids, trapped, no air, locked up tight, and they still could use them.
That's powerful. We are just being told everything they told us not to eat of the fruit is actually the best part of it because the rinds. I mean, I've learned you got to scrub. You have to scrub the rinds really, really good. But when I say I eat a whole fruit, I'm eating the rinds, the seeds, everything because all the things they told us was bad for us is actually where the nutrients reside. I also have a question about oregano oil. What's your thoughts on oregano oil? Because I started taking 4 drops of that, not daily, because I understand you shouldn't have it daily, but 4 drops of that, which I understand it helps to enhance your immune system. It tastes horrible, though. I'll tell you that. And burns
That's
going down.
it does, and that's why you can put it in the arch of your foot. Don't even try to ingest that because you don't want to mess up the lining of your stomach because the oil is concentrated, so it's super powerful. So just go in the arch of your foot and you'll be fine. And it won't even have that burning sensation that it does when you touch it. It's a hot oil like cinnamon, like clove. Those are hot oils. So you can use that. It's a natural antibiotic. If you hit me up in the back chat, I'll send you a list. I don't know how to send it in the back chat because you can't take pictures and send pictures. But if you text me your cell, I'll send you mine and I'll send you 14 things that oregano does. I keep that handy at all times because I work with that oil. And one of the things that it does is a natural antibiotic. And that's why you don't take it every day because it's a natural antibiotic and it's a probiotic. Y'all can just go to Google and find this information out. But I do have a list that has 14 benefits of the oregano oil.
All right, I'll definitely do that. I actually joined and asked to come up to the front because I don't understand how I have high blood pressure. 130 pounds, 5 foot 6 inches. Granted, I'm 55, but and I don't like salt, so I don't add salt into anything. I don't understand why I'm struggling to manage my blood pressure. So can I also reach out to you on that subject?
Absolutely. If you're not having salt, that's a problem right there because that's the second element on the periodic table. You are made of salt, so you have to have sea salt. I use the Celtic Sea, which is 116 trace minerals, including zinc, potassium, magnesium. You have to have these things. The first element on the periodic table to create a human is water. The second is salt. You cannot take salt out your diet. You'll cramp up. You'll have headaches. Your blood pressure can go wacky. A lot of things can happen to you because salt is to water what insulin is to glucose.
See, that's powerful. Because first thing the doctor told me, eliminate all salt.
He should have said white salt because it's made out of 1/3 sodium, 1/3 finely ground sand, and the other part is finely ground glass. It cuts up your arteries and your organs, releasing the
Wait, did you, Shalak, did you just say the salt, the white table salt, a lot of the small granulated crystals we see is glass?
salt itself. Yes, 1 part sodium, 1 part fine glass, 1 part fine sand. It's manufactured. It's a
Hmm.
terrible thing, and it causes your cholesterol to come out with the fine cuts, and you're constantly healing and cutting your arteries and veins and organs. It's terrible. You have to come away from it. I did a whole class on it. Only about 8 people showed up, but people want that smoke. They're not too big on healing. So I put it up in there. Change your salt, change your life. Anybody remember that? I taught that.
Khan, all praises, all praises. We're going to continue to the queue. Ibad, welcome to the stage. What do you have to add to the conversation?
First of all, Salakia, Elder Shawapah, Shalom, Adawan, my Adawan, y'all were all. Y'all
Hey,
Bashim Yahweh
Shalom.
Shabbat. Alright, so my added pieces is this. You do have a lot of benefits with minerals and herbs and dieting. The best healing known to man is fasting. Not saying to eliminate all the things or the herbs people have said, because I'm big on that myself, but through experience and studies, you can Google however you want to learn it. The best healing from anything anyone is dealing with is to fast. Man's biggest problem is keeping things out of their mouth. Um, when you decrease insulin or your glucose, then your ketones increase. Ketones is the healing properties your body go into before and go to something called autophagy. Auto meaning self, Jaffe means eat, so self-eating. What the body does is eat off all bad cells and eat off all fat, and it replenishes. Your body is actually a regenerating property of itself. Every 11 months, your bones regenerate. Every 3 to 6 months, your flesh and your blood regenerates. Without herbalists, without medicine, your body does that automatically. Uh, so, my sense on that would be if people can build the mental fortitude, right, or gain the spiritual strength to learn to fast. Autophagy kicks in between 48 and 72 hours of fasting. If people can build up that strength to actually fast, then a lot of your health problems would kind of decrease. After you come off your fast, then you'll want to go into those diets everybody want to go into.
Right.
You don't want to come into those. The diet is really just mixing to what you eating. You want to really flush out. Don't eat anything. That's the perfect way to flush. That's your mental flushing. That's your spiritual flushing. That's your bodily flush. Then once you come off that 48 hours, 72 hour fast, then you go into your herbalist diets, your ginger, your turmerics and stuff like that. You replenish that way, and you build back up your immune through that type of dieting. Just but go from straight eating steak and chicken all day and think you just gonna switch to this and it's gonna benefit something drastic. That's just not facts. It'll take actually longer versus you doing a 2 day or 3 day fast or 48 to 72 hour fast, and then jumping into your diet and your herbalists, your teas, your anything that benefits the body. You'll see a major difference in how the body reacts, how it digests, your sleeping habits, your energy will increase. And if you add also exercises increases your autophagy, but you'll have to do like a mean, intense exercise. And autophagy just means from the last time you ate until the next time you eat again. So if you add a diet or intermediate fasting with exercise, you increase your autophagy levels that much quicker, naturally alkaline in your body, flushing everything out. And then once you come off that high intensity or that autophagy state, then you go into your diet and your soups, your broths, your turmeric, your teas, your fruits and your vegetable. Which when you drink water, when they say H2O, it's because the white man then took out all the natural minerals from the water. The water that's found in nature or in your fruits or even in your body is called H3O2, right? It's called what you call I keep forgetting the word, but it starts with an S. But this is how it happens. 96% of the water, well, 3.2% of the water on Earth is liquefied. The other 96.8% is ice. The water that comes out comes from brooks or underneath the ground. 96.3% of the water is underneath the earth. It comes upon the mountain and then it comes downhill. Through the process of the water coming down, it hits upon rocks, which causes it a vortex. And this is why water in nature has the most natural minerals and vitamins, because they're getting it off the rocks that is beaten against as it's coming downhill. And that's why most they say, oh, we got spring water, but by the time the white man finishes distilling it and processing it, he done took out all its natural uh, vitamins and minerals out of the water. So you get fruits like tomatoes and cucumbers and things like that. These things got 96% water in it, and these things would increase, will help hydrate like your organs or your internal body things. So when you get into like the real water, and I don't know why I forget the word, and I've been studying it for the last wow, like 6 months. But when you get into like the actual water that your body needs, you can drink alkaline water all day. You can drink your deer park water all day. You're only gonna get like a very small percentage of the health benefits. The rest of it is just waste and water weight. So that's how you'll want to do it. When I get the word out, I might can tell y'all like the actual name of the water. So, but it's H3O2, not H2O. You'll want to get H3O water if you want to get into it like that. And I yield.
Is it structured
Hey,
water
brother,
thing?
do you when you
Yeah,
fast
that's what it's
for
called. The water king, called structured water, and it's nature itself forms that. The Most High designed everything perfect from the beginning, so it's called structured water. You're right, and the structured water is caused by a vortex from the water coming downstream, beating against rocks, going into currents upstream, downstreams, and that's how you get your vitamins and your minerals out of your water.
It's also could be found under natural water or living water. I'm seeing in the backtrack. Natural water. Or,
And
Yeah.
reverse osmosis is a good source because they put the minerals back in after they purify.
is that the alkaline machines you're talking about?
It's the you can buy the reverse osmosis water, like when you go to like your places, your reservoirs usually have them for sale. And there used to be places that look like phone booths that you could get RO. It's called reverse osmosis. Those systems in the home are very expensive, but if you can have one put into your home, that would definitely benefit you. But you can buy that water from a water provider. You know, the places that have those big 5 gallon things, you can get those, and that's the process of putting mineral back into water.
Hey, brother, can I ask for more clarification on fasting? What does that mean to you? Because for some, you can drink water, some you can't. For a 48-hour fast, do you recommend nothing goes in the mouth?
You do have different fasts, even found in the Bible. You got Ezra who had the herbalist fast; he just ate the fields. John the Baptist ate honey and locusts. But for to get pure autophagy, I recommend putting nothing in the body, not even water, no liquids, no foods. Like what they would call a dry fast is what I would call like the top purification process. Because some health experts would tell you during the fast to drink water with sodium in it. It's like it keep the electrolytes in your body, so it keep the energy up. The only reason why you kind of lose strength or energy during the fast because your body uses glucose for energy. So during the fast, you're losing that insulin or that glucose and you're raising ketone levels. And that ketone levels would trigger your autophagy. But in that process, you're eating off body fat and any bad cells and old blood cells. All that is diminished through the body. So the body start eating off at itself, and then it creates basically new cells, new ligaments, new blood, lack of better terms, and a clear state of mind. And if you add maybe like some light exercises, even say you do intermediate fast, and say you do 18 hours, you don't eat nothing. Within 6 hours, you eat. Within that 6 hours, you'll want to eat light or like something that's more healthier and full of like alkaline vegetables and fruits. Something that's not going to be heavy or sit on your stomach for days. So in between the 18 hours of intermediate fasting, you add in maybe an hour, hour and a half of exercising. And that same time frame, you have just increased autophagy in your body, which is going to kill off all old bad cells, old blood, anything you kind of dealing with, ailments and stuff, will kind of disappear. And I know that to be true personally. I fast a lot, but even if I feel like an itch in the throat, I automatically go into a fast. Um, Most of the time, I just let the spirit tell me when to fast, and then that's when I do it. But I see the benefits of fasting, especially for results that you want to see now. You're going to a fast. I'm not telling you to do a Moses or Jesus Christ fast, 40 days and 40 nights, because you don't really need it. A 3-day fast, 2-day fast, you kind of will build up into it first, because going from eating to try to jump into a fast, you can have like negative effects. So I wouldn't recommend that. So build up into a day fast, start with intermediate fast, and see how long you could go before the body send off the gases in your stomach, telling your brain's time to eat. And then the next time go longer, and then the next time go longer, and the next time go longer, until you build up a whole 24 hours. So that's what fasting does for the body. Your body itself regenerates between 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 11-month period. Like in between these times, you got blood that regenerates, cells that regenerate, and your bones every 11 months regenerate. Kind of like shedding off the old man, putting on a new man. It does it by itself. But when you add like the most high diet in there, it keeps it purified and true throughout this process. Now, if you add a few days out of the year, maybe a week, with some fasting, and then you kind of you in your godlike state, and for layman terms, you'll put your body in a godlike state. It'll actually perform greater when it's in autophagy. Um, Also, while you sleep, your body goes into an autophagy because you're not eating. So like you add fasting, your rest, and of course your studies, like reading, getting into the sword. While you doing that, you'll see a great difference in your health and energy. And then when you come off the fast, don't come off the fast asking for 8 ounce ribeye steak with some mats with some potatoes and all that. No, come off light, ease off. Maybe come back with a fruit and vegetable smoothie with all the things you like to put in there: your garlic, your turmeric, your fruits. Can't mix all fruits because some fruits cancel out and they make the drink bitter. Get you some kale and some spinach to put in there with the rest of your vegetables, and you'll kind of come off your fast like that. Ease your stomach back into it. That way, you putting all the nutrients back in your body, liquefied, which kind of make it go faster through the bloodstream. And then maybe the day 2, day 3, you start introducing yourself back to solids. Or if you come back day 1 with solids, eat like light, maybe like a broiled or a baked chicken breast, but not like a whole full breast. Kind of get you some pieces and some fruits and some vegetables, and bring it back in like that. So that's how I do the fast. I recommend a fast where you do a dry fast, but if you can't go completely dry fast, not eating food can benefit the same way. You get your water, Make sure you got like sodium water because it's gonna put the electrolytes in your body and keep you energized as you're not putting no solids in your body. So sometimes I just go on a liquid diet. Sometimes it's just no solids. I might do 100 hours of just straight fluids, no solids. A 3 day with light eating or a week of just fruits and vegetables. Like I just mix it up. That way fasting don't become boring. You kind of mixing it up. Your body getting everything it need. Plus its natural regeneration properties that the Most High already put in it, and all that it come down. Like even that high blood pressure sister was dealing with that'll lead to with some fasting. I don't know if anybody else got questions or Ari or somebody want to take back over. A couple
You start to
double
break
on
up.
dehydration for not drinking. Am I good now, out of one?
Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Just to reset the room, this your kosher breakfast. How to Skill It? Come and get it. Sponsored by the Holy Spirit. You know when you hear it, and the heathen fears it. Because every day, brothers bring that sword out, let you know what the law about, and turn this clubhouse into the Lord's house, man. We're gonna bring it out. Today's topic and what we're talking about is right detoxing, mind, body, and soul, power of fasting. We had some interesting things brought up, some edifying topics brought up, some herbs and ways you could do the cleansing of your body. But before we get back into these scriptures and get into these articles, y'all are more than welcome to say y'all piece and raise your hands and further on the topic. God,
Kansalaki, can you hear me now, out of one?
yeah, I hear you now.
I ran into a dead spot, these trees. So yeah, when doctors tell you that going 2-3 weeks without water and stuff will dehydrate you, it's impossible. It actually takes over 70 days to die of either starvation or dehydration, um, which is the number of perfection. Is also the number of which the percent of water is in your body. So the Most High is perfect in all His design. Um, Somebody had brought out something about vitamin D, and when you look into um, melanin, the things that's found in it is carbon dioxide, hydrogen, oxygen, and then hydrogen. Right? These things, these protons make up your melanin, but these is also what makes up the sun. That's why you got some called eumelanin. Even Esau called it good melanin. So he know this is called good melanin, and this is why our vitamin D is reproduced just going by going outside. So even if someone is ill and you kind of feeling bed bound, if you just take like 5 to 15 minutes just to make it outside, kind of sit on your porch with a chair with the sun out, that'll put that vitamin D right in your body immediately because what's in you already corresponds with the sun. So all you doing, y'all just feeding off each other the way the Most High designed it. So that's a easier way to get your vitamin D. The fact that they know those type of protons or neurons is in those in melanin, um, by them copying it, it would be synthetic. Um, you know, when you can just go outside and get it, just going outside itself, fresh air, oxygen, in the sun. That's the body need that, and get your water. Same way you do plants. Um, so yeah, that's the sisters and them brung it out. Elder Macabre, here, master herbalist. Um, I'm good with the fasting and stuff like that. So that's why I just wanted to add my sense. I wanted to ask the brother Shemaiah, because I was trying to see if I understood a root canal correctly or not. I thought a root canal was the removal of nerves in the jaw, not an implant or something, because you said you had to get your root canal removed. But I thought the surgery of root canals was removing blood vessels and nerves out of that area, because it's infected and can put
Con,
the infection to the rest of your teeth.
they supposedly remove the nerve, um, but it by doing that also it leaves literally a hole where blood actually seeps out. Um, so it may not seep out the same day that you get the root canal, but it eventually seeps out, and literally you're eating bad blood. It goes back down inside your throat when you're sleeping. Yeah, these are there's a lot of things like this, the medical industry or the dental industry don't tell us, man, when it comes to, our health, and, a lot of the people who know, serious things about, um, the herbs they're talking about, and different procedures to toxify your body. They know, they don't tell us things about our health that would benefit us. There's a lot of secrets when it comes to us, man, you know, and this is unfortunate, but that's the reality. You'll find, when it comes to us, the women are having babies, they push our women to have more C-sections, and even when they do C-sections, they mess up more in the epidurals for the women, than the other nations. So when it comes to the medical industry, man, I mean, if you look at, J. Marion Sims, that's literally the 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 the, the thing you should have in your mind about how they treat us when it comes to the medical industry, man.
Consalakia. And they don't even let the woman keep the placenta after childbirth anymore, even though it got, and some people might think it's gross, but it has so many vitamins and minerals and nutrients in the placenta that you can feed back to your baby or even the mother to recover her strength after childbirth. They tell you, nah, we not gonna give you this. We gonna keep this.
Yeah, I mean, I hear people eating the placenta and stuff. That sounds kind of gross to me. But I understand what you're saying. They do it to the other nations. But yeah, it's um, it's sad, and this is why we have to, as a nation, come together, man. Gather ourselves together, and really just you know teach each other, and be our brother's keeper. It was a wicked spirit that says, "Am I my brother's keeper?" And that's the same spirit Esau is, man. You know, we are the people who should say, "Yeah, hell yeah, my brother's keeper." You know, so that's it, man. Eating defiled bread.
Hey, Khan, y'all. If we got any readers on deck in the crowd, you want to raise your hand to read. We're gonna go through some scriptures and go through some articles, and then we're gonna close out the breakfast a little early today because I think brothers wanna is about to do a Muslim room soon because the Muslims got a problem with the Israelites right now because they seen the Quran get stepped on. So,
Hey,
brothers,
hey, Salaki out of one kind. Look, I had Ishmael mad the other day because he thought he had found. And matter of fact, it was an Edomite, a Roman Catholic Edomite, up there defending the Ishmaelites or the Muslims over the doctrine, saying it's contradictory. And then he tried to, when I told him that Christ was um, he done away with law, the sacrifice for the atonement of sins. He thought he was gonna go to Acts 21 and 26 to prove that sacrifice of sin wasn't done. And I'm trying to show these dudes, I said for the atonement of sins. So when I was trying to explain to them that the sacrifice of sin and the atonement of sins were two separate sacrifices, and I told them they didn't understand the Levitical priesthood or how Israel did sacrifices. They told me I was spewing nonsense and it didn't make any sense. So, but they didn't understand that because he tried to say Paul did a Nazarite vow, and I know a lot of teach it, but I'm like Paul did that being submissive to Peter because Peter was the head of the church, and also to teach the hearts of the people that the law wasn't done away with. But Paul was not a Nazarite, therefore he could not fulfill a Nazarite vow. What I was trying to explain to the brother, and he was just like, he's like, nah, this foolery. You speaking lies, and this, that, and the third. And then they got mad because I said, well, all y'all going in captivity anyway, so it don't even matter. But that's some of the points they had tried to bring out, thinking they have a point, and then they got upset because I had went to Sirach 4 and 157, where it says that the Muslims don't believe Christ died. So I had them in a strong point. It was like, well, is Christ a man? They said yes. I said, can God die? They said no. I said, but you don't believe Christ died, yet you say he a man. What man doesn't die? So by default, you believe Christ is God because you don't think Christ died. Hey, they went off on me out of one. They went off.
Yeah, I mean, that's no surprise, to be honest. That's definitely no surprise at all. You know what I'm saying? Muslims be very disgruntled when you prove them wrong about what they thought was real, and the whole purpose of the Quran is just a clapback for Ishmael not being chosen in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole purpose of the Quran. Ishmael mad as hell. But yeah, let's go through these scriptures and go through the articles, and we about to open up a Muslim room soon.
Shalaki Elder.
Okay.
Sister brought out that she would take the ginger and the garlic and the lemon and put some Jamaican rum in that. I figure the Jamaican rum by itself will heal anything. What do you think?
Yeah, it will. yo, we call that the purifier, right? That old 163 proof, right? The overproof,
God, out of why.
right? That good old white rum, man. Listen, there's been plenty of times I thought I was catching a cold. I took 2 shots of that and rubbed some on my chest before I went to bed and woke up everything clear.
And
Everything clear, man.
that's kosher, right?
God, that's kosher, right? One time I read when this whole thing started, with the whole COVID thing started, she started getting paranoid because she had a sore throat. I had to take 2 shots of that, then rub some on her chest and throat like it was a Vicks vapor rub. She woke up in the morning and she said that thing was the COVID killer.
Con, hear that, Israel? Get some Jamaican rum. It cure everything.
And no lie, I lie ever pop back up. You ask her what's the COVID killer, she gonna know.
Salaki, I know Gad. You know, Gad is the tribe. You know, with all the herbalists and stuff. But hey, man, Benjamin, man, got a lot of remedies and cures, man. I don't know a lot of people been around the Benjamites, man. Like they get like Elder Shower Pa saying he Benjamin, so you know y'all take heed. They get you together. You know they'll give you some things. You take a nap and you wake up feeling like Clark Kent, man. You feel better than you did before you got the little slight little cough you had, man.
Good.
No lie, that Jamaican rum is the truth. I've never experienced anything like that. Woke up in sweat, felt perfect.
And then that also goes into while you sleeping, how your body goes into a repairing state that your organs and your cells regenerating. And then you add something like the Jamaican rum in a state of a top. That's what I'm saying. Ketone levels increase and the autophagy kick off, and then all the healing get to happening. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Elder Shah, I think you need to make some more rooms going into the health of the body, getting Israel prepared. Because when I had their camp this last past Sabbath, I was kind of talking to Jake, showing that how a lot of Israelites is kind of out of shape, man. Like far as health, like always dealing with diabetes and high cholesterol, and some of us got gout and all these things. And it's like, a person, like say a person dealing with gout, they just can't go into a herbalist diet. They kind of got to fast. They got to flush that out. They kind of got going like every other week, probably going to like a 2 or 3 day fast to kind of reset that body. So you know that fasting, them herbs, uh, you know the things you intake, you know that's is very beneficial word to the nation of Israel, especially seeing all the prophecies starting to come to pass. The wars and rumors of wars. Um, you don't want caught lacking. You don't want to be a burden to your brother because you can't make it a mile. Hiking, kind of falling out 300 feet in. I mean, brothers gonna be brothers. Kind of lift you up, give you a shoulder on each side. But how much benefit or how much better would it be if we all can just walk like the same way we walked out of Egypt, man? You know,
Khan, you're supposed to be a nation of mighty men. Like you said, some dudes, man, spend most of their life eating the wrong things and on top of that, smoking cigarettes. Brothers out here be grown men with baby lungs out. Brothers can't even get down the block without huffing and puffing. You know what I'm saying? You know,
God, I don't want.
so definitely, yeah, brothers definitely got to have more rooms about health and getting themselves in order. But if you look at this article above right here, it says fasting triggers stem cell, right? What's stem cell? Stem cell is a process of your cells regenerating, right? It says fasting triggers stem cell regeneration of damaged old immune system. So everything, every way of the Lord is perfect. Let's not ever forget that, right? Every way of the Lord is perfect, right? Most High God forces you to fast at least once a year. Like the Day of Atonement, you have to fast because He knows how important a fast is to your system. Then He give examples in the Bible of Moses fasting, Yahushua fasting, Daniel, John, different type of fast, even down to Esther, man. Right? So these are the things we can never disconnect with because fasting is not only part of our obedience to the Most High God, but it's part of our culture. It's part of the maintenance of our body. Okay?
God,
God, as a fasting don't. This year was my first Day of Atonement, and immediately following the fast, I took a hot shower and I was home alone. and I just felt like I was going to pass out. It took every bit of energy to make it at least to the bed, and I just collapsed. So, moral of the story: after a fast, don't get in a hot shower.
Right, right. And after fasting, don't just go eat a bulk of food. You'll jam yourself up. You know what I'm saying? You want to break a fast with some alkaline water or some tea. I like to break a fast with some ginger tea. Something simple just to, settle through your system. Often now when I fast, I break my fast with black seed oil and some ginger tea. Probably some crackers to go along with it if I'm really hungry. But yeah, those two things you want to flow through your system. Or some type of other type of oils or herbs to flow through your system right after a fast, because that's when your body's really yearning for something to nourish it. So you nourish it with something very positive. Kind,
God, I don't want.
Um,
kind,
and that
kind.
article you put up there, King, is important too because they do, they don't tell you that, hey, you don't, because there's a surgery for stem cell, um, putting back stem cells in your body, stem cell implants, I think it's called, right? Transplants or something like stem cells transplant. And they don't tell you that, hey, if you fast, your body would actually regenerate stem cells. So, it's ways they can just make money on you, man.
Kind. Right. So, do I got any volunteers or audience that want to come up and read the article? Anybody in the audience?
Hey, Salakia, yeah, I can read it. The one up here right now, right?
Yeah, kind. Before you read that, though, I wanted to talk to you about something right quick.
I'm gonna hit you up. I got you. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody else that can volunteer to come up and read the article, while Bashar will really appreciate it. All right. If you can come up and read the article, that would be really appreciated. I know I got some brothers here that can help out. Just raise your hands. We'll bring you up to the stage. Also, I know some of you brothers are at work, at slavery. Um, but yeah, any brothers that can do that, that would be awesome, man. All right. Shemai, if you don't mind, could you hold down for a second, just talk on the topic, if you don't mind.
I got you. Yeah, family. This topic is really important, man. As we go into this wicked new year, Esau is about to celebrate. People always making New Year resolutions. You know, um, and all of the things they want to do different for the new year. We know this is not really the new year. You know, um, our new year don't start when things are dead in the dead of winter, but this is Esau's new year. And a lot of people are going to be making resolutions. Esau is really ramping up whatever he's been spraying in the air. A lot of people are getting sick. A lot of people are getting sick. Even while we started the room this morning, Shahpur got a call from his family in New York saying, "Hey, his brother got. They think that his brother got COVID." A lot of people are getting diagnosed with this so-called COVID, man. So they're going to probably do another shutdown or whatever the case is. And we got to get, our body right. Like the brother said, the best health thing that you can do for your body, the best reboot, you know, when your computer is messed up, it's acting slow, it's running slow, the best thing to do to the computer is to reboot it. And the best way to reboot your body is with a fast, you know. You fast, and this is the time to get really involved in fasting, man. We put up a room the other day and we talked about, um, FEMA is recommending that you have a certain amount of food stored away. If it comes to that point where the groceries are, empty, we're gonna have to learn to live on maybe one meal a day, if so much, maybe one meal a week. Who knows? We know Jacob's trouble's coming for family, and we got to get prepared mentally, spiritually. You know, we got to get prepared to be able to, run with horses. Because if right now in the green season, we're having difficulty running with men, when it's time to run with horses, what is going to happen? When the real tough times come, what are you going to do? If we have no discipline right now, and this is for everybody, man. We got to be able to discipline ourselves, as everybody's saying, the people who got knowledge on the health and things like that, discipline ourselves with the way we eat, exercising, with the way we pray and fast, the way we afflict our souls, man, the way we pray. So this is what the topic of the room is, man. And anybody who got something to add to it, you're welcome to come on stage, raise your hands, and add to the topic. Share what you know. There's some knowledgeable people sharing what they know, giving some insights, or whatever. They're iron sharpening iron, man. You know, this is not, well. I look after myself, and everybody else got to look after their self. If you got some knowledge, got some information, you know, share. You know, we pray one for another. You know, we seek the best interest of each other, man. We seek the best health for each other. You know, mothers, fathers, for their children, all of these things, man. We got to share information. We got to stop being stingy with information, man, when it benefits each other. This is how we grow as a people. We don't just like know something and be like, well, nobody shared it with me, so I ain't sharing it with nobody. Nah, man, that's not the way we do it, man. We got to change our ways, man. So this is a really timely topic, man. This is the kosher breakfast. We're detoxing the mind, body, and soul. We're talking about the power of fasting, man. We're dealing with our health. You know, I'm sure there's somebody who might be sick. I know a whole bunch of people who weren't sick, who's just like sick right now. I mean, HOI, we've been on the streets from before and even through the COVID. We didn't stop going out to camps. We didn't stop traveling and doing and bringing out the word, man. And we were not wearing masks from the time this COVID thing started, up till now, when we're on the street bringing out the word. And then just all of a sudden, a whole bunch of brothers just start getting sick. So we know definitely Esau is spraying something, man. He's spraying it on the subway, he's spraying it in the streets, he's spraying it in the sky. There's the GMO food that targets our DNA, you know. But the Most High has made us stronger than the other nations, man. So, and these topics is what's going to help us to stay strong. You know what I'm saying? So anybody who got anything to add, just, hey, raise your hand. Let's build. Let's build.
God. So we're gonna get into this article and bring out some precepts, and then we're gonna start another room, most high willing.
Okay, Khan, all praises. All right. So this article is from news.usc.edu, right? It says fasting triggers stem cell regeneration of damaged old immune system. It says protection from chemotherapy, immune, it says immune suppression indicates effect could be conserved in humans. Then it goes into the actual article. It says the first evidence of a natural intervention triggering stem cell based regeneration of an organ or system. A study in June 5th issue of the Cell Stem Cell shows that cycles of prolonged fasting not only protect against immune system damage, a major side effect of chemotherapy, but also induce immune system regeneration.
Salah,
Shifting Khan.
right? So a lot of people try to heal their cancer with chemotherapy, right? And I gotta give a live testimony. I've seen chemotherapy kill people because what chemotherapy does, it destroys the cancer cells, but it destroys every cell along with it. So if they give you too much of that radiation, it's going to destroy the cancer cells, yeah, but it's going to also destroy the healthy cells and leave you vulnerable and weak. Where if you catch a common cold, you'll die. Right? So that's how chemotherapy is very wicked. Right? But it's showing you that instead of chemotherapy now, you could just do fasting. Right? Read on.
Khan. It says shifting cells from a domain state to a state of self renewal. Next paragraph. In both mice and a phase 1 clinical trial involving patients receiving chemotherapy, long period of not eating significantly lowered white blood cell count. In mice, fasting cycles then flipped a regenerative switch, changing the signaling pathways for hematopoietic stem cell says which are responsible for the regeneration of blood and immune system. The research showed. The next
Right.
paragraph. Con.
Research is showing, right? Them that it's like it said it compared it to flipping a switch, right, Ari? It
Con.
compared
Con. Con.
Yeah, it compared it to flipping a switch. Once you started fasting, and the fast lasted for a longer period of time, right? It is like a switch gets flipped in the body now that the cells are no longer what working on digesting food, like brothers was bringing out earlier. Was the body's and the energy is now working on breaking down the glucose and digesting foods. It's like a switch is flipped. That now it gets to attack what the dead cells and the toxic cells, and also starts to repair cells and starts to help the cells regenerate. Khan,
And there's an
Con.
excellent animated video on YouTube. Oh, it's only about 4 or 5 minutes. You guys should watch it. It's almost like a Pac-Man type thing, eating the dying and bad cells. It was pretty educational.
Khan. Read on a little bit more on that article, lot.
Con. I got you, King. Next paragraph. The study has major implication for healthier aging in which immune system decline contributes to increased susceptibility to disease. It says disease as people age by outlining how prolonged fasting cycles, period of no food for 2 to 4 days at a time over the course of 6 months, killed older and damaged immune cells and generate new ones. The research also has implication for chemotherapy tolerance and for those with a wide range of immune system deficiencies, including autoimmunity disorder. Salaka.
Or other autoimmunity disorder.
Lupus.
Autoimmunity disorder that goes into STDs and HIV and everything, man.
That's also a lupus, brother.
Right, and also lupus, man. Everything that our people get affected through the curses, right? All these diseases that and viruses and other things that are plaguing our people, it shows that fasting is the way. Now, this is Esau's article. So, he's making it sound like, this and the chemotherapy could go hand in hand. Oh, hell nah. This replaces the chemotherapy, right? This replaces the chemotherapy. You don't need chemotherapy if you can apply the right roots, oils, herbs, and fasting and prayer, right? Because like Shemaiah brought out, yeah, the fasting is good when it comes to the health wise, but to help activate it, that prayer needs to come in. Okay?
Con.
Khan.
Read on that.
Khan. We could not predict the prolonged fasting would have such a remarkable effect in promoting stem cell based regeneration of the hematopoietic system, said corresponding author Walter Longo. Edna M. Jones, professor of urology and of biological science at the USC Davis School of Gerontology, and director of the USC Longevity Institute. Longo has a joint appointment at the USC Dunsfield College of Letters, Arts, and Science. Next paragraph. When you starve, the system tries to save energy, and one of the things it can do to save energy is to recycle a lot of the immune cells that are not needed, especially those that may be damaged. Longo said, what we started noticing in both our human work and animal work is that the white blood cells count goes down with prolonged fasting. Then when you refeed, the blood cells come back. So we started thinking, well, where does it come from? Next paragraph. Fasting cycles. Prolonged fasting forces the blood, Prolonged fasting forces the body to use stores of glucose, fat, and ketones, but it also breaks down a significant portion of white blood cells. Longo likens the effect of to lightening a plane of excess cargo. During each cycle of fasting, this depletion of white blood cells induces change that triggers stem cells based regeneration of new immune system cells. In particular, prolonged fasting reduced the enzymes pKa, an effect previously discovered by the Longo team to extend longevity in simple organism, and which has been linked in other research to the regulation of stem cells, self-renewal, and pluripotency. Pluripotency, that is, the potential for one cell to develop into many different cells types. Prolonged fasting also lowered level of IGF, a growth function, a growth factor hormone that Longo and others have linked to aging, tumor progression, and cancer risk. pKa is the key gene that needs to shut down in order for these stem cells to switch into regenerative mode. It gives the okay for the stem cell to go ahead and begin proliferating and rebuild the entire system. Explained Longo. Nothing the potential of clinic application that mimic the effect of prolonged fasting to rejuvenate the immune system. And the good news is that the body got rid of the parts of the system that might be damaged or old.
Right. That's it on that. I believe everybody gets the picture now, right? That's not only spiritual evidence, right, that we presented in the beginning of this room, right, which is on the replays, but now we got the scientific evidence, right, that fasting benefits you, right? Fasting benefits you in many ways, and now, like you says, right now, like the article says, right, from USC, which is a prestigious college with a reputation to keep. Even though they try to mix Esau science in it too, but it's showing you that fasting, which is an ancient practice, a biblical practice from our forefathers, it has health wise benefits, and it restarts and rejuvenates the body. God,
Con,
God, all praises to the Most High, man. All praises, right? Let's get some of these precepts. Let me get the book of Isaiah, right? Chapter 58 and 3. Go read a verse 6.
Yeah, Con. Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 6. Is not this the fast that I have chosen to
Salaki
lose?
King. Start
Con.
at verse
Start where?
start at verse 3.
Con. Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 3. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our souls, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Verse 4. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the first of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high.
Right? So you gotta fast in the right spirit, man. So show you that yeah, you fasting, but what kind of spirit are you fasting in, man? You're supposed to fast in the right spirit. Some people fasting, just for carnal reasons, man. Right? Oh, I'm fasting so I could get more knowledge so I could puff myself up. Or I'm fasting to prove I'm more spiritual than somebody. Or I'm fasting to get sexy. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be fasted in the wrong spirit, right? Read on.
God. Verse 5. Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord?
Right? This is supposed to be a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord, man. Right? And you're supposed to be afflicting your soul, man. Right? Showing yourself what self-discipline, showing that you could take some affliction without folding up, right? This is when you give up the fleshly things and fill your spirit with the Most High God, and showing the Most High God you're willing to sacrifice for Him and just concentrate on Him, and that He's everything you want and need. And in return, your body is reacting, right? Your body's reacting of not getting the flesh that is craving, right? Remember the sister was like, just ignore it, right? That flesh craving that your flesh is doing to trick you into eating, ignore it. And once you ignore it, it's gonna go on and it's gonna go and what? Start working on itself. That same thing that you ignored, right? And you fought your flesh off through resilience and self preservation, right? What you did was you gave your body a chance to now move on and do other things, right? And now you gave your soul a chance to strengthen itself and connect to the Father. So you winning on both fronts. You're really killing two birds with one stone when you fast. What verse you in, King?
Yeah, I just read verse 5. We're about to jump to 6.
Yeah, go to 6.
Verse 6. Is not this the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke.
Right, and this you break every yoke. You let the oppressed go free. Right now, you're freeing yourself from disease. You're freeing yourself from wickedness. You're freeing yourself from the thoughts of perversion. You're freeing yourself from gluttony. You're freeing yourself from drug abuse. You're freeing yourself from toxic thoughts. You're freeing yourself from toxic behavior. You're freeing yourself from transmitted diseases. All this you're doing when you're fasting. Khan?
Con.
Yeah, Alexandria, I know you wanted to say something. Go ahead, sister.
I have a testimony of the only thing of value that the Christian church may have left within me, and that's the discipline for fasting. Like you said, it was for all the wrong reasons because it was so that the church can get this, so the church can get that. But nonetheless, 20 years in the church and fasting every Wednesday, it helped to build that discipline. And now I'm so grateful to the Most High and the teachings of my fellow Israelites to see what fasting is really for.
Khan. What fasting is really for, man. Right? This is what's really fasting is for. This is why, the other forms of fasting is great for your health, right? But the biblical fast, that dry fast, man, that fast that Yahushua practiced, no food or water, man, I'm telling you, that is the ultimate cleanser, right? That's because that's when you force your body and you give it a shock treatment where now it has to look within itself and burn off any iniquity. La, don't do that, right? It has to look within itself and burn off any iniquity. So, you brothers and sisters out here, make sure when you fasting earnestly and you praying, man. Hey, let me get the book of let me get the book of let me see the book of Acts. Let me get the book of Acts. We get Acts 14 and 22.
Salakia, King. All right, Acts 14 and 22.
Con.
All right, this is Acts chapter 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God.
Right? Through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of God. Right? Through much tribulation, we are going to enter into the kingdom of God. Don't think it's like a cakewalk. Don't think you are going to be strolling, skipping down the, what's that? Down the yellow brick road, whistling Dixie. Right? That's not how it's going to go. Right? Through much tribulation, shall the people and the followers of Hamashiach Yahushai enter in the kingdom of God. So how do you prepare yourself for much tribulation? Right? Read verse 23.
Con. Verse 23. And when they had ordained them elders in every church, and had prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord, on whom they believed.
Right? So yeah, first they set up elders, got that structure going on. And then what else did they do? They prayed and fasted. Right? They fasted and prayed. Pray and fast and pray. right? The two go hand in hand, right? Like Shemaiah said, that prayer, man, when you talk to the Most High, that be the activator, man. That be the percolator, man. That's what really get things shaking, right? The fasting does things automatically, yeah, but when you add the increase of the Most High, man, that's when it becomes historical. So yeah, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, it's time you start implementing this into your lifestyle, right? Read on, right?
Khan. Verse 24. And after they had passed throughout Pisidia, they came to Familia.
Hey,
Verse 25.
that's it on that. That's it on that.
Khan. I didn't think that had anything to do with it, but yeah, Khan.
Yeah, con. So let's also get the book of Esther. Let's read that one more time. Esther 4 and 16. Let's read that again for the edifying of the body.
Yeah, Khan. This is the book of Esther, chapter 4 and verse 16. Go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish.
Right? So what we did, we used to fast, right? Especially if we access something of the Lord, right? The biblical fast was days and nights, right? Without food or water. Nothing to eat nor drink, right? And if you're just doing a fast to just cleanse your body and it's not really that spiritual, right? Yeah, you're gonna drink some alkaline water. You're gonna drink some water to detox yourself. Um, some spring water, right? Because one thing I figured out when we did the tabernacles in that state park, Indian Springs Fall, right? I learned they had a natural spring water reserve, and when you get water from there, man, that thing is a cleanser itself, man. When it come out the ground as a natural spring, it got all the vitamins and minerals you need, man, just natural. Man, you'll see it, man. If you drink some natural spring water straight out the rocks, man, and then you go to the bathroom and urinate, right? You'll see that it definitely relieves your body of all the toxins, right? It's powerful like that. But when you're talking about the biblical fast, if you're trying to cleanse the mind, body, and soul all together at the same time, that's how you do it right there. Okay?
Yeah,
I would
Khan.
also, I would also like to add one of the easy ways to remember, you know, what to eat while you're changing your diet is the darker the greens, the better. So when you're consuming, the salads or the veggies that are the darkest green, those are like the boom for the body, and it helps to sweep out the waste. So if you can, try to remember, eat asparagus or cabbage or Brussels sprouts or broccoli. The darker the green, the better. If you're going to eat salads, make sure you're eating, the darkest you can get. Your romaine, your spinach. I always put spinach on the bottom of my salads, and then start building it up from there. And stick to the greenest things you can find, because your boom is the greens, and it sweeps, and the body will automatically shut off the appetite if it's fighting off a virus. You won't even be hungry. That's how you know that fasting is a very Very, very good weapon to use against these forces because your body will work with you. Have you noticed sick people don't have an appetite? The appetite is cut off. The body is in survival mode. It's trying to help you fight. The body gets a temperature to let you know that there's an invader. That's why you feel that little in the throat, letting you know something is there even before you get any symptoms like the chills or the headache or any body aches or anything, runny nose. You feel it in your throat first. That's the body is communicating, letting you know something's going on.
Con. Let me get the book of Matthew out, right? Chapter 6 and verse 16.
What you say? You said Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew 6 and 16.
Okay. Con, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 16. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
Right? So also when you fast, right? Don't go out and be like, oh, I'm so hungry. I've been fasting all day. Don't you see how spiritual I am? Look at my face, my cheekbones. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out like that. Right? When you're fasting, just know that's between you and the most high God. Unless you planning to fast with certain people. You know, sometimes you want to fast as a congregation, you know, in the spirit, because brothers did that before. Or you want to fast, you want to declare a fast for the nation. But if you just fasting for, just for something between you and the Most High God, don't go around bragging about it. That's the important thing about fasting. Con?
Con.
And when you want to declare fast for the nation, though, that's also biblical. Let's get the book of Joel. Book of Joel, chapter 1, verse 14.
Con.
Right? Because when you declare fast between just you and the Most High God, keep it that way. But if you're declaring a fast for you and the nation to fast, that's also biblical. Or you in a congregation, or you and just, your wife, those things that, if you declare it between the person, okay, then you talk about it with them. But if it's just between you and the Most High God, don't go around and looking for the notoriety of men and the eyes of men to accept you, right? But it is lawful to declare fast among the nation. Let's get that Joel 1 and 14.
All right, I got you. This is the book of Joel, chapter 1 and verse 14. Sanctify ye a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land into the house of the Lord your God, and cry unto the Lord.
Right? We fast and we cry unto the Lord, man. Like Shemaiah brought out, man, that prayer is important. You got to communicate with the Most High God. You gotta let him know why you fasting and plead your cause and communicate with him. Or that fast will be off for naught. You'll just be detoxing your body and be losing weight and getting stronger in the body, but not in the soul and the spirit.
I don't want.
Kind. All right, let me get the book of just to land me back on that some more.
Yeah, don't forget the replay thing, okay? So we don't lose
Yeah.
this.
I'm gonna bring out a couple more. Then we could shut this down and open up another room. Yeah, because the replay thing is dealing right about now. Um, Let me get the book of Matthew, chapter 17, start at verse 20.
Okay, Matthew 17 and 20. Yo, Ak, you said Matthew 17 and 20, right?
Con.
Khan, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 17 and verse 20. And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
Right? So you got to have that faith in Hamashiach Yahushua, man. Right? Faith without works is dead. We talk about the works of fasting, right? But you got to have that faith, right, to multiply it, right? You got to have enough faith to damn move a mountain. A lot of people think that things are impossible, man. But that's another reason why I watched that Matrix movie, because Matrix is like a subliminal thing, especially since the author of the Matrix was a sister that was writing about the Bible, right? In the Matrix, it shows you what you believe could be real, right? And it's the same thing with the scriptures. A lot of people think, things are impossible, but you could do all things through Christ, man. Right? That's Philippians 4 and 13. So whatever you fasting for, also believe that you can achieve it through Hamashiach Yahushai. Khan?
Khan.
I read on that.
Khan, verse 21. Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayers and fasting.
Right? Certain things you need prayer and fasting to achieve, man. Right? If you want to cast off any wicked spirit, if you want to achieve any personal goal, if you want to plead your cause to the Most High God, if you want to relieve yourself from an affliction, disease, or infection, or ailment, yeah, fasting and prayer. Fasting and prayer. And with that, I yield to the room. I seen we got Sister Ariana on the stage, right? And the other princess. So we could get to them right quick, and I could set up another room right quick.
Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.
I just came up here to sort of ask about. I know the fasting can sort of help people who have problems with their blood pressure and blood sugar and all that. My grandma, she's one of those people. She's deep in Christianity, and we're trying to get her to switch over to following the dietary law, and she's kind of made those steps over that way. But she still has problems with like her blood pressure. It'll spike and it'll drop, and the same with her blood sugar. But she also doesn't eat much. So she takes a lot of medicines. I think she takes her medicines in the morning and sometime during the day. So how would she go about, fasting to sort of get better?
A lot of those meds she would have to take with food, a lot of them, and they could be interacting with each other and causing her blood pressure to go up and down. So most pharmacists at one time, because I used to work for Medicare Part D, I'm not sure with the COVID what things are like on in the field, but you can call your local pharmacy, start closest to her home, and then start spreading out and ask, can you get a consultation from one of the pharmacy techs to see how her medications are interacting with each other. A lot of times when they prescribe medications, they don't consider the last medication or the older medication, and they're interacting with each other because remember, these are chemical compounds that they have built on top of natural things. So the natural things can get in the cell, and they're hoping that these chemicals that they put with the natural can ride in on there. And that's how they suppress a symptom. They don't actually get to heal the condition. So have her meds. reevaluated by a pharmacy tech that's close to home. And then if she wants to incorporate fasting, tell her she can, like use almond milk to take her meds with, because they want her to coat her stomach. That's why they tell you to eat something with it, because those chemicals are harsh on your digestive system. So she can drink something. I had my sister do that so she could do some intermittent fasting, and it worked real good. The almond milk coated her stomach, and you can get the kind that has vanilla, you can get the chocolate, and then she can go into her fasting. But with the medications, they have to eat something.
Yeah, I would recommend definitely trying to look into switching a lot of that medication. Obviously, you got to talk to a physician and first, but try to find more natural ways to get the same effect from those medications. And that's when you want to consult with someone that's very well studied when it comes to natural ways to heal certain sickness. That was something I had to do with my mother, and she's because she was heavy on the medications too. At one point, she was taking about 7 different medications at one time. So, she was just popping pills every morning. So now we've weed her out of quite a bit of them. She's only taking a couple of them now. But again, we're still working on her trying to, not needing those pills, because those pills, like the sister said, is nothing but chemicals. That's all they do is put a bunch of chemicals together to not really even heal the problem, but just basically just keep it in control. That's primarily what those medications do. They don't really heal you; they just keep you in control. And a lot of it we know with the pharmaceutical companies is just to keep the money coming in. So, but yeah, I will definitely look into more natural ways to address those issues that she's taking those pills for, and see if she can weed out of some of those medications as quick as possible. That'll be my stance on that, because that has worked with my mother. So, but yeah, I'm gonna yield for now.
And I'm glad you brought that up, bro, because there's a term that we would use in the healthcare field called maintenance drugs, which means your high blood pressure pills, your cholesterol pills, your insulins, maintenance. They want to keep you in between, the life and not too dead, so they can keep getting that money, keep that coming in. And again, these things don't heal. These things is just to keep you maintenance. And if you can find what you need in your diet, your food can be medicine for you. That's what it was intended. So if you can Google a few things, like off the top of my head, I remember cinnamon can lower blood pressure. Who doesn't like cinnamon? It's a wonderful spice. You can use cinnamon to do that. Just taking her off of certain uh, flour, because of the way it processes in the body. Most white things that come into the body can't identify it because it's been processed to death, and it's not even considered food anymore. And that even goes with the brown bread, dyed brown. It's just white bread with some color. So we really got to look at things. If you're going to buy bread, get it fresh from the baker. There used to be a saying: the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. These are the people that you got to see at least 2 to 3 times a week, because you don't want stuff that's sitting on the shelf loaded with preservatives, because a lot of that, we're eating the problems. We're eating these chemicals.
Con.
Yeah, she does a lot of the
Go ahead.
she does eat a lot of like processed foods. I know one day she ate like a can of Viennas and some crackers to take her medicine or something like that, and she eats like spam. So definitely, I knew it was something like, cause she doesn't really eat a lot, so I knew it was something that was causing all those problems.
Yes, ma'am. And that stuff is processed pork. that they have used, picked up the scraps and made those Vienna sausage, made that spam. It's just processed waste. So if you can work with her to let her know, hey Nana, this is a better thing you can eat, eat you a banana, or if you're fasting, drink your almond milk, eat you some fresh fruit. Nana, stay away from this because of this, and this. And you can show her, there's a lot of good short videos on YouTube that will help. But that's really trash that she's consuming to take the chemical that they call in medicine.
And
Con,
system maintenance medications are typically picked up 100% by insurance companies, so it doesn't even cost you anything. So there's no hindrance to you continuing to poison yourself.
Facts.
all praises to the Most High, man. A lot of you sisters for coming in and adding on your wisdom to the conversation. We appreciate it. It's definitely helping the nation. I know brothers and sisters are taking notes throughout for that. Okay. Sister, we're gonna go to Sister Javira, then I'm gonna reset the room, see what we're doing after this. Sister Javira, welcome to the stage. What you got to add to the topic?
Shalom.
Shalom, sis.
All praise to the Most High and Thawada for leadership and sending all love to all friends, family, and loved ones in the audience. I thought the topic was wonderful, and I thought it was ironic that just the other night we were having a conversation, about fasting, and call, and it had more of our unity camp members, and we were talking about some of the sicknesses and the bugs that was going on throughout our nation right now. And I had mentioned to a few of the leadership if it was possible or if you guys thought it would be a good idea if we put together a fast to pray for the healing and sickness, within the nation. And I just wanted to put that reminder out or the idea for something like that to be put together for us to all participate in. And I land my mic.
Yeah, con, sis. Uh, yeah, that's something you brought it up. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. But you kind of want you're looking to see if we can pick a specific day for like the body and people to do it. Is that what you're looking at, sis? Is that what you're trying to recommend?
Well, I was just wanting leadership to come together, like Sharpal and Yawahal and Mal and Corey, if they were to come together and have a conversation about, what they would think would be nice to put together and then present it to the.
Did we lose her?
Did I get kicked out?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure how much you guys heard, Shalakia. No, I was saying I was just thinking that it would be a good idea for some of the leadership to come together and put the idea together and then present it to us, like Corey and Ma and Joel and Sharpar and yourself. If that was something that you guys wanted to have a conversation about to present to us to follow.
Hey, repeat that, sister.
The other night we were having a conversation because like Mal, he's trying to recover from COVID, and we had Elder Makad was dealing with some sickness, and we were all talking about how there was some sickness going around among the nation, and I had brought out that it would probably be a good idea if we were to come together um, and participate in a fast to pray for healing of the sickness within our nation. But I wanted to present it to some of the leadership for you guys to kind of put the idea together or take it in consideration and present it to us for us to participate and follow.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'll definitely put it together and see what other Elders and leaders think about it.
The Water King. All praise to the Most High.
Real quick before we leave, the brothers said that they were going to open up another room. So anything that you heard here, there's a lot of information on the web. There's a lot of information on YouTube. The people are taking their health into their own hands and coming away from the model that we have been given us. The word hospital even means place of death. Hence the words hospice care, death care. So think about, what you've heard. Be vigilant. Your prayers have got you this far and have gotten you this information. The Most High put it on the hearts of these men to bring this class forth and dropped it on us to all come in and participate, and we're here. So the Most High is hearing us. He's hearing you. So don't stop. Keep being vigilant. Do what you can. Get with me if you need me. You need to change your water filters. Put some water filters in your house, your shower, because you're putting metals in your body every day and on your loved ones with the water that you use to cook with and that you bathe with. And if you really want to know how toxic your water is, just boil it. And when you get done bringing it to a boil, let it cool, and you go see that white skim of that heavy calcium around your pot. So that way, I'm telling you what I'm saying is true. And all you got to do is get you some filter systems. These things are less than $50, family. We can do this. We can do this. We can make these soft, subtle changes that's going to have a great big impact. And for you ladies who love your natural hair, that's one of the things that you're going to see immediate difference in. Your hair will not be as hard because you're not depositing that calcium, that chlorine, and those heavy metals in your hair when you shampoo. Same with the guys' beards. Your beards will feel softer. Your hair feels softer. Your skin, that sting that you feel when you take in a shower, like somebody whooping you with little switches, all of that will be removed because those chemicals that are blasting you with the force of the water.
Con.
Uh,
Wow.
so, brothers is still in that other room battling. So until they open up the Muslim room, and just for the sake of the replays of this room, uh, I'm just gonna open up a Shalom and Chill room in a HOI to the Chariots Fly for now, just for a transition room. So I read, once I set that up, you could close this room out.
Okay, con. Let me know once you've set it up, and we'll shut things down here.
Brother Ari, as a newcomer to Clubhouse, is there a way to set notifications so that when you guys open up a room, I'm notified?
Yeah, are you following the room right now? Did you click on the house above us here?
Yes.
Yeah, so once you follow it, what it does is once we come on, for the most part, it will automatically let you know that we're on. But also what we do is I would say follow us also. All right. So follow the brothers with the green beam, but also follow, the other members up here. All right. Because what happens is when we go on, we ping people into the rooms also. So that's another way of you getting the notification to come to the room. All right. Um, let me see. Yeah. So for the most part, that's how that works. Now, unless anybody else have any other knowledge on that and want to maybe add to the conversation and help the sister out. But yeah, follow the room, follow the mods. Like I said, we ping you in when we come up. Usually, it will notify you that we on, because you're following the room and following the brothers up here. Okay, sis,
The water.
and yeah, the ball. Yeah, but this was a really great room, family. Really appreciate you guys coming up, adding to the conversation, because that's what this is all about, right? It's sharing that knowledge, and how we used to do things, and coming back to that understanding, right? Our people are so used to how things are being done on this side of the world, and some of our people are just too comfortable with these types of lifestyle. We have to break out of that, and gain the right understanding, and that way we can teach our children the right ways to move in this wicked kingdom, man, so they don't fall to the snares that we did growing up, right? It's all about changing our thoughts and how we do things through the scriptures and through experience in life from all of us. So these are things we just got to keep in mind, gotta keep these things in mind, man. Great room, great room.
and using their devices for our benefit. I watched the movie last night, Don't Look Up. It's clear as day. You know, Esau is putting things right in front of our faces because he doesn't think that we're paying attention. But many of us are awakening daily and seeing exactly what's going on. And classes like this kind of help to fortify that foundation that what we think is happening is really happening.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I know a sis who drives for a living, and she said she could see this fog mist fluid that was coming down on her car. She was just, driving, and she was at a stop, and she put the wipers on, and she said it looked like a milky substance in the raindrops. And I said, I bet you that's what it was. That stuff that they put in the air coming down with the weather, and people didn't even realize what was happening. But she saw it.
Yeah, Khan Salaki, Israel, just taking care of some things. If you guys pausing, brothers are doing some things in the background. But yes, sis, you're right. You're right. They always spraying something in the air. Um, their mind is always trying to poison us, and this primarily happens in our neighborhoods. You know, this is why we got to start eating right, and um, eating more fruits, vegetables, and eat more healthy to detox a lot of this stuff out of our body. Because a lot of stuff, we don't even intentionally put it in our body. But Esau is so wicked that he puts this stuff in the air, man. The air we breathe, and so yeah, con. Yeah, if anybody else have anything to add on until we until we set up the new room, just raise your hands and we'll bring you up stage. Hey, Shaw Paul, are you setting up the new room? Because I mean, I could just set it up. Yeah, give me 1 second, family. Let me just see if the room is set up.
While he's doing that, there was a video I saw a few years ago called Death by Zip Code. And I went to YouTube to see if it's still out there. And I can't find it, but there's a lot of other things that are falling into that. The COVID by zip code, the different rates of death by zip code. Family, check these things out and see what's going on.
Con.
And don't move in fear, move in faith. The Most High is going to protect us with His word. That's why we keep His laws, statutes, and commandments. This is our wisdom before the nations. So don't move in fear, move in faith, and do what you can while you can.
I sing that song to my grandchildren, Isaiah 41:10. I sing it to myself when I feel fear coming up because your mind can't really understand what they're trying to do to us. Like we can't even fathom yet. But the Most High is going to give us that heart where we will really see it how He sees it. So right now we're only catching a glimpse of it. But the wickedness that surrounds us daily, it's unbelievable.
It would have to be because, they can't sleep in their beds without, trying to plot on us. But we have the holy angels that encamp around us. Them that are us are more than them that are against us. Maybe you could ask the brothers if you could sing a little bit of that prophetic song in the atmosphere, and maybe it can land and resonate in our hearts and minds, and we'll be able to sing it to ourselves and to our families.
Hey, Salakia, we got the room going, so we're just gonna transfer to the room. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. All right. So the brothers are over there now. All right. And again, Thwada everybody for adding to the conversation. All right. Please don't forget follow the Crowns of Thorn, which is a affiliate of House of Israel. All right. We appreciate everybody that participated in this conversation. And Thwada, Sister Nava, Sister Princess, and Habad and Alexandria. All right, for staying here to the end. All right, so on to the next one. Qom Yasha Israel. We still got next. Endure to the end. All right, stay faithful to this word. Okay, Shalom.
Shalom.
So,
such thing. Most certainly would never disrespect it, put it in the ground, wouldn't even put it in the floor. But and I, honest to God, I thought you would come